Alrighty, time for this round of 32 match versus top French player Lemonspawn. Good luck to you, Monsieur Lemonspawn. What do we have in our first kingdom? A lot of split piles. Knights, ew. I don't even have knights on the dislike list at the moment. Sad. They're definitely a card that floats to the dislike list. Villages look pretty lacking to me. There's Golem, which, my god, could this be a Golem kingdom? Maybe so. Because there's a lot of stuff you gotta get accomplished here. You got non-terminal draw with Blacksmith plus Elder. You put those together, you get a little bit of draw. Or in the Augurs pile, there's Sybil. That's something. But, I mean, there's terminals you want to play. You probably need to play with the Knights. You probably want to play with Enlarge to get thin. How are you playing all that? I think you might just have to take a detour into Potion. And how to say, it's not a savory, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, venture to take. Golem is an awful card. But it might just be what we're doing here. Kingdom just looks kind of slow. Looks like you gotta probably fight your way through the Knights. If you just build the deck that doesn't touch any of that stuff, I think it gets eaten eventually. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's colonies too. When did those get here? Does that change things, maybe? Knights can't hit platinum. What if you just take King's Cash and platinum? That I would love an excuse not to play with Golem. Can I just enlarge my way straight up to platinum, King's Cash, buy colonies, mill colonies with enlarge? That could be worth doing. You got some 2-cost cards here that don't get hit by the Knights. You just like use Town Crier for a little bit of payload to jumpstart it. Get an Enlarge or 2, then some stuff. Get King's Cash, get Platinum. That might be better than the Golem shenanigans. Enlarge can probably milk colonies pretty fast. All that being said, the existence of colonies also means this game's going to go longer than otherwise. And that should be some reason to doubt the just play big money plan. Like the engine has time to get going, do a bunch of stuff, and then take a bunch of provinces. I don't know. This is a tough kingdom. I think like building an engine, I think, means taking a golem, and then the upside of doing that, or taking some golems. The upside of doing that is you get to play a bunch of knights. And that doesn't sound very strong, doesn't sound very fast, but it does things eventually. And if you're trying to get around that, you're trying to end the game quickly. And I think the path to colony isn't super fast, but there is milling. There's platinum, which circumvents knights. Those are two very diametrically opposed game plans. I don't know exactly which one's worth it. Tough. Probably the opening is going to be like Silver Tiara or Silver Herb Gatherer, either way, I think. Could be Tracker Town Crier Silver, even, maybe. I don't think the opening changes very much, but I think I ought to decide what I'm trying to accomplish here. Or maybe I just defer the question a little bit. Let's just figure out which opening. I think the goal is to get enlarged. That's the opening goal. I do that in either line. So how do I hit 5? Silver Tiara, Herb Gatherer, Silver, Tracker Town Crier, Silver. I think I'm leaning towards Tracker Town Crier, Silver. You get the top deck benefit of Tiara, plus effectively a second Silver in there. Not totally sure on that. Lemon is an Herb Gatherer lover. Probably an avid consumer of lemon pepper. And so, just typecasting him, I think he's going to open. Herb Silver. We'll see. Tiara. Okay, maybe he likes Tiara even more. Or maybe he's just all talk on the augurs. I like Tiara Silver and Herb Gatherer Silver's openings a lot as well. This is 4. Could buy a Tiara, which sounds fine. I don't necessarily need a Tiara right now. So I could also cantrip this. Not exactly sure what I'm hoping to draw. Drawing Silver would actually be pretty bad because then I'm probably not hitting 5 next turn. Drawing Tracker is probably slightly better than nothing because I could top deck something nice and increase my chances of hitting 5. Drawing Copper is probably just whatever. I think I like cantripping this and taking a Blacksmith. Alright, didn't get the great draw, which would be 5 with a Tracker to top deck enlarge, but still hit 5. So we're on the right side of decent draws. Lemon has a slightly better draw, hits 5 with a top deck effect. That could have been bad if I drew the enlarge. Okay, I have 5, but it's actually a little bit awkward here. I think I top deck enlarge just to guarantee that my large doesn't miss. Like I'm looking at what's it, a 37.5% chance my enlarge bottom decks, which would be terrible. If I top deck one, then I'm 50-50 for my enlarges to collide, which isn't great. But there's a 50-50 chance they don't, and a 100% chance I'm playing an enlarge next turn. I'm going to want 2 anyway, so let's just do this. Okay, we got the good draw. Alright, yeah, Lemon wants Potion. I think I'm coming around. I'm looking at the state of my deck. Already got Blacksmith, got a bunch of cantrips. It feels pretty natural to go into Potion here. I don't know if it's this turn that I would take it, but I think we're going to suck it up and get a Golem. This turn, maybe I take a Tiara first. I don't know if my deck is that likely to hit 4+ Potion. If I had a Potion right now, I could wait. The upside of getting Golem is pretty big. I'll take the chance. I don't even know how to play with Golem. Like it is so seldom that you touch that card. This is quite a special occasion. Unfortunately, the town folk have been rotated. I'd love to turn Copper into Town Crier. Not so much into Tracker at this point. I've already got one. I'd also like to have an estate in hand, because estate into Miller would be totally decent. Ain't no way you only have 2 money. What are those 4 cards? What could they possibly be? You only have 1 estate left in your whole deck? Are they all actions? Do you have that many actions? Those are treasures, and he's not playing this treasure for some reason. Yeah. You're not fooling me. Vault. I don't think I like Vault very much. Has synergy with Blacksmith because you can pitch most of your hand and redraw. But it's a terminal action card, and you don't really have the villages to support that yet. Don't rotate. Please draw a state. Nope. I still gotta play this. I really do not want these trackers very much. But I gotta get the enlarge in play. And oh look, I do hit 4+ Potion, and I can top deck the Golem, which is nice. Woman might beat me to the punch here. I don't know. That doesn't look like a hand that's going to hit 4+ Potion. Maybe he has the potion but whiffed. What a fool to take a potion so early. Oh, maybe he does have it. Nope, he doesn't have the potion to begin with. He has taken the knights. Sir Martin, not a good knight, but it has the appeal of, I mean, you can get it off of an estate remodel, so I think that's decent. Dame Natalie doesn't look great here. If maybe the townsfolk and the blacksmiths were still available, Dame Natalie would look a little bit better. Sure, I'll top deck that, I think. We take our golem now, top deck that as well. How does this card even work? Nobody knows. The golem stuff of legend. People tell tales of golems, but no one's ever actually seen one in practice in the wild before. We're venturing into uncharted waters. What's the split like look on these piles? It looks like, I think, does the lemon have 2 blacksmiths to my 1? Wait a second. Is it 2 to 2? Do I have 2 of them? I don't remember getting 2 of them. I thought I saw one in the pile. Why is there a blacksmith here? I don't understand how this display works. Something funky is afoot. It's showing a blacksmith, but there's 7 in the pile, and it says 4 elders and 3 town criers. I think this is an illusion. I don't know why it's there. I sure hope that's a graphical bug. I'm a little confused right now. I don't think there's any blacksmiths left. It looks like they've gone 2-2, and the display is just kind of odd. Okay, so Lemon doesn't have an elder yet. I would like an elder for the blacksmiths. Can't trip that. Am I gonna have actions left to play? Yeah, I still got 2 enlarges down there. Do I rotate here? I have 2 enlarges down there and 1 blacksmith. If I hit double enlarge, I'm killing tracker estate and hitting 4, in which case I couldn't afford the elder, but if I hit the blacksmith, I could. And I probably buy elder here. I mean, Dame Natalie is also a consideration. I don't really want Dame Natalie very much as far as knights go. Probably gotta take her at some point if Lemon doesn't touch the knights pile. I think I'd just rather the elder for the moment. So I think this is like... Oh, I have a miller as well. Forgot about you. Order of all these doesn't really matter. This is probably Tiara. Gold and a 3 does not sound great, I don't think. It's probably just elder and nothing else. I got a blacksmith on top, I do believe. Lemon takes an elder as well. Tracker into second Tiara, probably. I don't know that I need 2 Tiaras that bad at the moment. Nothing else looks great. Oasis is a gross card. Herb Gatherer is a nice card, but terminal. And Sir Martin could kill a Tiara at any time, so I think just Tiara right now is fine. Could also be Silver, I suppose. But I think I'm going to say Tiara. Final answer. Draw until 6, +1 card, +1 action. Done choosing. Where be Golem? Nobody knows. So I could take silver, remodel a copper, I guess. And then I would have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 for Golem plus something or other. I'd love to do Golem plus Elder, but I don't think I can afford that and also play the Enlarge, and I'm definitely playing the Enlarge. I'm not seeing a better line. I could take the Town Crier and just cantrip it, but I'm not really sure what I'm hoping to find. Probably Silver's just the best I can do here. I guess I could remodel the Silver into an Elder. That might make sense. Silver is and then just buy a golem and top deck that. I could take a free 2 as well, but I don't want one. Silver into Elder. Kind of want to get rid of the coppers, but I mean, coppers take 2 enlarges to get rid of anyway. Yeah, I think I'm just doing this. Tiara the Potion, just cause. Top deck Golem. Alright, this is one of those hands that makes me not like Golem very much. I got a bunch of cantrips. Do I play them before the Golem? What happens if I draw too many actions? Do I have 4 actions down there left to hit? I don't know. Do I play the Golems first? I would like to, ideally, but what if they just hit 2 terminals? Do I have 2 terminals? I have definitely an enlarge down there. Do I also have another tracker down there? Don't know. Yep, there we go. Don't worry, I got the backup. We're fine. I think I'm just going to put a non-terminal action card down there to be safe, and we're going to golem out into the depths of the abyss. Going to resolve card action first. Don't rotate, I suppose. Pitch that. What order do I do these in? Elder Blacksmith first means I'll have more targets if my golem hits enlarge. Golem first. Probably doesn't have that much appeal when I'm thinking about it. Let's just do it this way. Done choosing. Do I have 2 actions down there? Again, just golem problems. How do people play with this card? I think there's a Miller down there. Is there anything else down there? I don't know. I'm not sure that there is. So maybe I play this enlarge first and turn copper into tracker and then guarantee I've got a target. Yep, sure enough, I had no targets up until this point. I guess I want a 3rd golem. And then we go Elder, Blacksmith. Oh, I should consider really fast. Are there any other Elder targets outside of the Townsfolk pile in this kingdom? I should look at that. No, there are not. No other synergy. In the Urbi other pile? No. Okay, we're good. No fancy Elder things to do here. So I could conceivably take 2 more golems, that is a lot of golems, or I could take 1 more golem and have 8 money, which would be, I don't know, like Elder and a Town Crier. I want knights, but I don't want knights badly enough quite yet to want Dame Natalie, I don't think. If I had 1 more money, well, I do have 1 more money, don't I? I'm just bad at math. Numbers are hard. I was going to say if I had 1 more money, I would do Golem Platinum maybe. And I think I do. I do have that, right? 11, 12, double that, 13. Maybe this is just Golem Platinum? I should consider that. Platinum's really good with Tiara in the deck because you can double it, or King's Cash, you can triple it even. That's buku bucks. The argument against taking Platinum right now is Elder seems like a good card here with the Blacksmiths and the Town Criers, and the Elders are dying off at a rapid rate, in keeping with theme. So Golem, Elder, Town Crier, or just Golem Platinum. Feels like Platinum just gets things going faster. I'm fine with Lemon having the last Elder. Not like fine, but it is what it is. Alrighty, golems. I don't think I have that many terminals down there that you can manage to muck things up on. Alright, do your worst. I said your worst. That was your best. It's probably the worst card that the Sir Martin could hit. Murdered my grandmother. Have you no shame? I still feel ahead. I presume Lemon takes the last. Yep. Must be nice having 2 living grandparents. Allow me to wallow in my misery over here. Another tiara, I think. Oh, Oasis. Also, good. I've got an enlarge coming in that I got to resolve, and I have no good targets for it. This is why you don't touch Golem. Even when it's good, it's bad. I didn't want to play an enlarge right now, but the fickle hands of fate have forced me to. Probably this tiara dies, and I don't know what it becomes. Dame Natalie, I guess. Probably Dame Natalie. We discard Platinum. We trash tiara. Sir Bailey's a good knight. I want that. I want that much. Yeah, I can draw until 6 here because I'll get an action off of Elder, presumably. Yeah, it has plenty of targets. 2 coins, 1 card, 1 action. Done choosing. Do this again. Gain Town Cry. Oh, how many are left? I don't understand what this card over here means. Why is there an Elders floating out in space now? I think this means it's all Town Criers left, so I'm fine doing this. Darn, I helped Lemon out and killed that unnecessary vault. Platinum's the more important of the 2. Stretch goal is draw the tiara as well. I think I just play Blacksmith for +2 cards to have a 2/3 chance of... Maybe this is a bad order. This is a bad order. Let me undo that. If I just take the Town Crier and cantrip it, and then I play this for +2 cards, I don't get to play the tracker, but I get a 100% chance of finding Platinum plus Tiara. And that's how you get paid the big bucks. Don't want to top deck that, because I want my golems to hit it, I think. Sir Dastry seems like an okay knight. Wouldn't mind buying that. But I think... Is this golem platinum? Do I need more golems? How do golems even work? I don't know. Maybe it's Destry, and then I get to check what the knight below it is, and if that's really good, I can pick it up, and if it's not, I can leave it for Lemon. And if not, I buy Platinum. I think I want to take Destry. Vander, gross. Not in a million years. Golem, Platinum. I like the idea of top decking a Golem. I like the idea of Platinum even more. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Something's dying here. Probably Sir Destry. I value the rest of these more highly. Sir Destry can become a King's Cash. That's like Tiara. I'm not even sure. Is King's Cash better than Tiara? I mean, in general, no, Tiara's a much stronger card. In this kingdom, when you can take either... If I already got 1 Tiara, I'm already benefiting from the top deck effect. There's still a plus buy argument in favor of Tiara, but I think just tripling a Platinum is enough money that I'd rather King's Cash. You could also King's Cash a Tiara, I guess, is a good argument for it. Alright, I'm up 3-1 on Golems. Does that count for anything? Honestly, who's to say? I'm up 2-1 on Knights. Where am I? Am I making that up? No, I'm up 3-1 on Knights. For the moment. We're about to commit Nitricide. Lemon's got 2 old folks. We have an equivalent number of youthful folks. He is set up to mill provinces, but not in the helpful way. Ooh, I'll take that one, I think. I think this is a dubious order that you've gone in, Monjo. If you're going to buy the knights, you buy the knight first, and then you get to see the second knight, and then you get to reevaluate. I imagine... Lemon does only have the one golem, so maybe he's just locked into buying golem regardless. But in this kingdom, Dame Molly sure looks like a knight that you would like. I could just take it immediately. Or I could take the King's Cash. I think I like the King's Cash. If I draw everything, that makes me much monies, and then I can get Dame Molly via buying things. Alright, Golem, please don't do your thing. Alright, we're good. We're fine. Dame Natalie, I guess an Oasis. I would love to kill the Blacksmith. I don't think killing the potion actually matters at all. Probably I pitch a cantrip. +1 card. Die tracker die. I've got a Will-O-Wisp down there, so goleming is, I think, pretty safe. Or we could just not hit it, and that's fine too. Blacksmith does not draw more if I draw to exit, so I don't think it matters which order I play these cards in that case. This Will-O-Wisp first makes sense in case I have a junk card on top. Ooh, there we go. See, that's what makes Serbali a good knight, is it's more likely to hit your opponent's stronger cards than other knights. That's not any way to run a society. Sacrificing the youth for the elderly. Unsustainable model. Which of these makes me the most money? Probably Tiara, King's Cash, Platinum, Copper. That's gotta be right. Alrighty. Wait, I got so much money. Am I even sure the goal is to make the most money? Let me reevaluate that. Perhaps the order... What do you do with 36? 36 is too many monies. Maybe this should be... King's Cash Tiara. How does that work? This is no info. Look, Lemon, if I'm not mistaken, is a professional mathematician. I need all the help I can get. We're just gonna have the client do the math for us. Tiara, King's Cash, Tiara, Platinum, Copper. Don't play twice. Play thrice. So this is 31 and more buys. This seems better, I think. Yes, please. Think I want you to. Not on top, though. Where'd my potion go? Oh, it's hiding on the bottom, I think. Might I need a draw card, then? These bottom 4 cards I don't think are great. I think it's 3 treasures. So I'm probably going to whiff this turn. Because I can't... I guess I put a vault on top, maybe? That doesn't sound great. I think the answer is just I'm liable to dud because I can't top deck a golem. And nothing else kicks me off very well. But that's whatever. Bottom 3 knights. Dame Joe, hell no. Dame Sylvia, Dame Anna. Dame Anna would be lovely earlier, but we've passed the Dame Anna point of this kingdom. Piles are low-ish. Maybe I just take a colony now to be safe. I'm looking at knights and tiaras, maybe trackers as well. I'll top deck a vault. And buy a what? I don't know. Don't really want anything else. Another tiara. I've got more than enough treasure doublers and triplers for the number of treasures that I've got. So probably not tiara at the moment. Maybe another vault? I don't know what I'm doing. See, you gotta play the tracker first so you can gain silver with Town Crier and top deck it. And then that's your turn. But what a good turn it would be. Whoa. Oh, it's not, for a second there, when I was dragging the box around, the cards weren't moving quite in line with the box. That was kind of trippy. And they even themselves out. Oh! That was the most painful Knight's attack of the entire game, and it didn't even trash anything. I had 2 golems right on top of my deck. Oh, ouchies. Probably I'm happy to just do potion into a knight. I got a points lead, and I got a lot more money. I think I'm happy if panels go low. This ain't much of a turn, but what you gonna do? Two more trackers might be too much. I think I'm just gonna call it there. Alright, so piles are low enough to be dangerous. I think one more full turn would win me the game. I don't think I'm going to have a full turn here unless I get lucky because my golems are hiding. But I think I am more in position to have a good turn than Lemon is, because Lemon just doesn't have much payload at the moment and needs to hit colony at least once. It's not impossible or anything, but a little bit harder. Good job, Golem. Find 2 terminals. Not my vault. Anything but the vault. That was probably a pretty friendly knight. That's why Dame Josephine is the worst knight. She pitches your opponent stop cards and terminal action cards. Oh, do you have a pile up? No, you don't. Stop playing. Why are you lowering the knights? You didn't even have enough for a colony. You're really going to empty a second pile like that? Okay. I think safest thing here by a mile has to be King's Cash into Province, right? Just so that if I happen to dud here, I've got a big points lead. The other thing to consider would be, can I just win the game immediately? Like if I King's Cash the Tiara, I have 4 buys, but I would need to have 8 of the money. Like what happens if I just do Oasis into Duchy instead, for example? And then how likely am I to draw a platinum? Didn't have a platinum last turn. 1 platinum has been discarded. And I think it's just got to be this. If I have a full turn, I probably win anyway. And this protects me against the disaster case of just drawing a dud hand. As it appears I'm about to do. Yeah, I think I pictured Dame Natalie. As it turns out, I would have won immediately if I had trashed the Oasis and just drawn, because then I could have gone King's Cash Tiara Platinum, would have had 10 money, and then bought 4 trackers, but this feels like it's going to be a win in short order. Where are my golems? This is why Golem's a bad card. It never shows up. Might get pitched by knights if Lemon has a knight in hand. Nope. See, Dame Josephine is just the worst knight. It discards your opponent's colony and then leaves their golem right on top of the deck for you. I probably should have figured out that the other card down there was Blacksmith and held off on playing the Elder for a hot second. But what can you do? Do I even need... Is this just the win in hand? No, this is 7 money. Right? This is 4 buys, but it's 7 money. I'm just going to hold on to those and play this, and if I find anything at all... Yeah, this is a win now. No, it's not. No, it's not a win because I have to trash something. Oh, no! This is not a win quite yet. Oh, Asus, why must you be this way? I just want to finish him. This game is de facto over. I just gotta hit the draws that I'm just barely missing over and over. Probably I kill the Tiara into a Duchy, cantrip the Town Crier and try to draw on. Like I could discard Town Crier, trash Tiara into tracker, buy 2 trackers, and then say score 24 points, or I'm going to buy 1 tracker next turn. But I don't know, that just seems like an unnecessary risk, probably. This is why Golem's a bad card. It just plays all your cards in the wrong order. Still don't have enough plus buy in hand. I think I have more stuff down there. Who knows? Apparently it's 2 terminals. Just golem things. Platinum into colony, buy colony and a tracker. Something, I don't know. Let me just count how much money this is going to be. If I don't trash platinum, I have 8, 15, 23. That's double colony on its own, right? Maybe I just do tracker into tracker then. Could also have done colony into colony and tried to aim for the end of the game that way. It's just it's 49 to 2. See, Dame Anna is only good early in the game. When she hits good targets late in the game, she starts doing things like pitching a treasure and a stomp card. GG. Okay, Golem again. Oh god, what have we gotten ourselves into? Summon practice, okay. So plus buy, Cauldron, not the strongest thing ever, but it'll do. We got Cage for thinning. We've got no other thinning. We do have thickening in the form of Young Witch and Jester. Be relevant. Draw, Envoy, Swamp Shacks, Hireling, Sheepdog. Oops, I clicked on Golem. That's not a real draw card. I mean, it pretends like it is, but it's not. Villages, Crown, Swamp Shacks. Okay, What's the Bane? The Bane is Cage. Lovely Bane on the card that stays in play forever and is never in your hand. Is Young Witch playable here? I'm not a Young Witch enthusiast by any stretch. Maybe it could see some play. I don't think so. I don't think. Like, you're gonna get Cauldron anyway. If you want to give out curses, you probably do it that way. Where is this going? I think you want some Cauldrons at some point for plus buy. I think Jester could be worth it here. It's not obvious to me. Jester's in general not very strong, but this seems like a kingdom where it might be worth considering. Given that there's limited thinning, it hitting junk cards could matter. And there, obviously most of the stuff you could gain, you'd be happy to gain as well. So maybe Jester shows up. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. The argument against Jester is just, if you ever have 5, probably Summon just looks better than Jester most of the time. How do you draw here? I think you can get Swamp Shacks looking pretty good pretty early. You take 2 cages to get thin anyway. You've already got 2 durations. Your Swamp Shacks draw 1 at a minimum. Maybe you add a Hireling at some point. I don't know. Hireling is slow. Summon is fast. Hard to say Hireling ever beats out Summon. Is just a high tempo buy. But Hireling would buff the Swamp Shacks. I feel like you probably just get to a point where you're summoning an Envoy like every turn. Or once you got a bunch of Envoys, maybe you summon a Swamp Shacks or something. And that always kicks off your deck. You're going to need some Cauldrons for plus buy. You add some Crowns. If you can swing it, you crown the Cauldrons. If you can't, you crown the actions to draw. Practice. Is practice any good? Not great. You could practice a crown to double 2 Cauldrons. What does that do? If I had Crown, Cauldron, Cauldron in hand, and I just played Crown, Cauldron, Cauldron, that's 3 buys, 3 Cauldron plays, and 6 money. If I spend 3 money to play the Crown to double the Cauldrons, that's lose 1 buy, gain 4. Still 3 buys, 8 money minus, it's 5 money, but 4 Cauldron plays. So crowning, practice Crown, Cauldron, Cauldron is 1 less money, but 1 more curse, I think. So maybe practice comes up in some very specific niche circumstances. How to open. Lemon says Cage. Cage strikes me as a definite maybe. Envoy Cage seems decent. Could just be Envoy Silver. That's really good at hitting big numbers. Then take the Cage soon thereafter. I think I like Envoy Cage. I think it works out well either way. Either you draw the Envoy with a Cage and you didn't hit a big number, but you hit a big Cage set aside, or the Envoy misses the Cage, but you probably hit 5 anyway, and you're still a happy camper. Or this happens, and I reevaluate my life. So here I can't. If I set aside a bunch, the Envoy just draws next to nothing. Maybe I just set aside 1 and buy Silver, 2 and buy Cage. Envoy would reveal 5 cards. If I do it this way, my Envoy sees every card in my deck, provided I don't bottom deck it. In which case, Lemon most likely discards Cage, and I still hit 6, which seems fine, right? Set aside 2, buy another Cage. Or my Envoy just hides and I'm sad. Presumably discarding Cage here. Let's double check that. Lemon had 4 coppers and a Young Witch in hand turn 3. He's looking at an estate. This could be the estate that he redrew, or it could be the estate that was on the bottom of his deck. So his hand either has 1 or 2 estates in it already. The Cage seems like it would be too good here. I probably have to set that aside. The argument for coppers would be like stopping him from hitting 5, but I think it's just got to be Cage. How did he... Oh, he practiced it. You cheeky little devil. Didn't consider that. This is probably still the best line, even considering the curses, but that does hurt a bit. Don't know what I buy here. Shop. Doesn't play nicely with the Envoy yet, but would play nice with Swamp Shacks later. Silver. Payload. Probably Silver. 3rd Cage. I will definitely need a 3rd Cage at some point. Might be too early for that at the moment. I'm going to say Silver. Lemon. Lemon, lemon, lemon. Well, if nothing else, I got to 5. These draws have not been great, I don't think. The Envoy in the turn 5 hand was kind of brutal. Also, the Cage set aside was not big, in part because I was playing around the much likelier scenario of Envoy being in the turn 4 hand. So I'm probably behind at the moment. Seems like I'm behind. Don't know what I buy here. Summon a second envoy already. Pitching a state, thinking I have a cage. Well, I got 6. I don't know, maybe a hireling already? Yeah, I undervalued hireling, I think, because it's just occurred to me you can practice hireling. That's the practice synergy here. Okay, that sounds lovely. Do I avoid the young witch thing this time? Maybe. God, limit is thin. When did that happen? Is cage not public information? I guess not. He probably hits 5 either way. I'll pitch the young witch. My guess is... Okay, well, he hit 6 instead. If I discarded the copper, he would have had 5, but there's lots of lovely stuff to buy on 5. Won't lose sleep over it. Set things aside. Probably just 3, because 5 is so much better than 4 here. And probably crown time for plus buy. And by crown, I mean cauldron, the $5 treasure that starts with a C. No! Oh no! I have but 2 money, which is not enough to practice the hireling. We'll simply buy a cage. Which will surely protect me from the young witch. I've had cages in my deck for a lot of these shuffles, and there's never been in hand at the right time. Goodbye cage, but hello 5. Probably I summon something here just to make sure I have a decent turn next turn. If I don't summon things, I'm probably buying a crown, but I want to make sure my cage lines up. Yeah, looking at this hand, I'm pretty happy I summoned an envoy. Hopefully I managed to accomplish something with my turn. I'm going to be at a big points deficit for a bit with the curses. That's something of a concern. Fortunately, I don't think piles are going to run super fast. So you cage the curses, and then you're probably fine for a while. It will become a problem again if there's a protracted greening phase, at which point the cages no longer reliably hold the curses back. Oh, I've had for like most of these Young Witch plays, there has been a cage in my deck, because I've struggled to get the cages into play, and it has never once been in my hand. Obviously, it's like less than 50% in any given case, but the chance of whiffing it every single time, I think, is not very high. We're just in the sad timeline. Gotta discard Envoy here, I think. Cage wouldn't be preposterous, but I think you gotta... Oh, he says Cage, okay. Okay, I don't even know what was left in my deck. Maybe discarding the Cage actually was fine for him. It's not ideal for me. What do I buy? Until I get that cage down, I feel duty-bound to summon things, because my deck just does not kick off reliably with this much junk in it. So, what do I summon? Another Envoy probably, and buy a Swamp Shacks. Or I could summon Swamp Shacks and buy an Envoy. Or I could summon Swamp Shacks and buy a Swamp Shacks, and then probably find an Envoy. The Swamp Shacks will draw me a card. For sure I summon one of these, and for sure I get at least one Swamp Shacks in my deck at this point. But I'm not sure which of these is best. 3 Envoys is a lot of Envoys. Swamp Shacks isn't great quite yet. I would love a Crown. If I had 10, Crown would sound great. Crown and summon something. I think I prefer summoning Swamp Shacks. That's 4 cards in play. I find Envoy, play another Swamp Shacks. Second Swamp Shacks. Final answer. Still no Cage in hand. Nor a Cage in play. I guess every play I make is a Cage in play. I'm probably behind here. I feel behind. I don't think I'm super behind, but I think I'm behind. Just because of this Young Witch luck. I still don't think Young Witch looks great here. I think the odds that it hits every single time are not that high. The odds that my deck whiffs this often are not that high. I think just not working out super great. I don't think it's terrible. I mean, Young Witch seems fine. I think it is probably not worth getting in the average case because it gives out a curse or 2 before the cauldrons get running usually. And then probably the curse is split like 4-6 most of the time. Here there's 7-0 already. I'm a little bit miffed by that. Lemon summons. A what? Swamp Shacks? No, a shop. Exciting. Well, I found an Envoy. That could have gone a lot worse. Unfortunately, not quite at the right time. Cage will once again be hiding. Ever to my chagrin. Still hitting 9. I mean, that's predictable. I didn't add any payload. I'll never get that Cage played. The Swamp Shacks were supposed to fix this problem, which was you play the Envoys, you draw your deck, then you play the second Swamp Shacks, and you pick up the Cage. But I needed to find the Envoys sooner, so that the Swamp Shacks drew more cards. I need to add Crown or Cauldron or something for more money, but I just can't, because I have to summon something, because my deck doesn't work yet. Probably summon Envoy and buy Swamp Shacks. Maybe a second Cage, actually. Summon Envoy, take another Cage. I think I'm losing this game now. There's just too many consistent shuffles of things going wrong. Also, I have 2 Cages in the deck. Now my deck now has 2 different Cages in it, neither of which have been played. I'm still going to get hit. Again, I think the problem at this point is likely to be I'll eventually get the Cages down. At some point, this deck is going to do something, and I'll Cage 8 more cards, and my deck will be thin, and it'll be working again. But because it is going to have taken so long, I think what's going to happen is going to be I'm not going to have a decisive edge by any stretch, even if I end up in the lead. Stop doing that, please. That hurts my feelings. Oh boy, look at that hand. Yep. This is hurting. Still no Cages. There's a Cage in the bottom. I can't take the last curse next turn. I say that, and I'm probably going to get it off of Cauldron. Actually, Lemon doesn't have 3 gains yet. Yes, he does. He has a good Jester. I could take it off of Cauldron. Anyways, the Young Witch thing leads you to have a very slow deck. Like, Lemon is still buying 2 things per turn, which is like where my deck is in the average case. And if things go more equitably, probably what happens is the goal is have enough of a points lead that, or have enough of a lead in deck control that you close out the game fairly early and win in like 1 to 2 turns, so there's not enough time for the Cages popping to matter. Here, I'm just so far behind. Even if I get thin, we're going to enter the late stage of the game, and then at some point the Cages pop, then I have the curses back in my deck, and my deck stops functioning again, I think, is what happens. So it's hard to see how I win from here. What happens if I practice the Swamp Shacks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11. I draw 6 cards. That doesn't work. I was thinking, I practice the Swamp Shacks, I draw the Cages, at least get the Cages in play. But the Cages have to be played before you buy anything. So that fails. I gotta keep summoning things because my deck still doesn't function. I would love to buy a hireling or a crown or a cauldron, and I just can't. I cannot. Summon Swamp Shacks again. Hopefully I find an envoy. Goodbye cauldron. Now, Lemon's deck is still not doing much. Again, like the lines he has taken have not been building very much. The lines he's taken have just been cursing very aggressively. So in a world where my deck isn't totally abysmal, there would be plenty of time to catch up. But we're not in that world. We're in this world. Well, that was a nice envoy, and that's a lovely set of curses I got. 3 money. This is probably silver now. Still need more money. This is somewhat predictably a dud hand, but at least I'll get to play a cage. At this point, I'm probably likely to take the last curse off of Cauldron here. Jester hurts. I should probably just resign this one, right? Yep. I'm just going to throw in the towel. Yeah. I'm going to say there wasn't much to do about that one. I remember my first shuffle was bad, and then I don't think I had much luck in any subsequent shuffle. I think the way that plays out in the... Oh, we got to start a new table because we're past the server restart threshold. I think in the average case what happens is if you don't have poor early shuffles, then you don't get stuck on 2 buys forever. There's like so many turns where I was hitting just like 1 cauldron, 2 buys, gotta summon something because my deck's not functioning yet. If I get to the stage of 2 cauldrons or a cauldron and a crown earlier, I give out at least a few of those curses. Crown a cauldron, buy something, you give out 2 curses. I think probably that happens twice, and I give out 3 to 4 curses, and losing the curse split 6-4 or 7-3 I think would be imminently fine. But didn't hit that in time, and then the deck just never came together. Why can't I hit ready? What's going on? Is this the wrong table? Oh, I was at the old Lemonspawn table. That explains a lot. All right, 1-1. Game 3. What is this? So we got draw with stables or lab. We got villages with mountain village and wandering minstrel. We got thinning with butcher and expand. We have no plus buy, but we have gains once again with butcher and expand. Incidentally, this looks like a strong big money kingdom. You got lucky coin from fool, and you got butcher, and you got coffers. I think money still doesn't beat out the engine because you got everything you need to build, but like this is a good kingdom for big money, ironically. So presumably, goal number 1 I think is just get to butcher ASAP, so you can start killing the estates. Then you add some stables, probably just 1 or 2 stables, and then labs, because I think eventually you want to play with minstrels your village, and stables and minstrel are not friends. Minstrel pitches all your treasures, stables cries. I think it's like A stables and then labs. And then your goal is to play like 2 or 3 butchers per turn. Probably green on the earlier side because butcher's really good at milling provinces. How to open? I think the 4 should probably be exploration. Coffer guarantees you hit 5. What about the 3? Star chart. It's not doing a whole lot. You get to top deck the silver. Star Trek, I think, is the thing you're going to want. So I could buy it now if nothing else jumps out. It'll often be like Fool, Second Silver, or Vagrant, none of which are like, they're not great. It's just the Star Trek's not doing much immediately, and so if I want something else, I should buy something else. I have what? I have 9 money in the deck now, and a favor if I buy Expedition. If you buy Star Chart, you can top deck a silver. Guarantees you see at least 8 of your money. If you manage to bottom deck an estate, which is like 30%, then you hit double 5s, which would be lovely. If not, you get like Butcher and a Minstrel, which still sounds pretty good. Yeah, I've talked myself into Star Chart, I think. Just open the double project. Don't think that happens super often. My thinking is, I think some chance, not a terrible chance, of hitting double 5s if I bottom deck an estate. Otherwise, I think I buy Butcher Minstrel, and then I top deck the Butcher, hopefully I hit the Minstrel, and that helps me trigger a shuffle early. And with Star Chart, I get to top deck the Butcher again, and that all sounds great. I could briefly consider, what about Tormentor? If I take it now, it's guaranteed to get me an Imp or 2. That could be worth it. Like it's just +2 coins, print a Laboratory, and then take Butcher soon after. I don't know, that sounds okay. Maybe, is it Tormentor before Butcher? Butcher trashing an estate is like gaining a Laboratory. But the Tormentor comes with 2 money. Well, the Butcher also comes with 2 money. If I turn the estate into Vagrant, I keep 2 coffers. I don't know, I like Tormentor. Tormentor's not very strong, but it's okay. I think Tormentor versus Butcher is close. The Tormentor definitely gains 1 imp. Maybe gains me 2 imps. It also has a little bit of synergy with the Villager from Exploration. Oh, I just realized something. One argument against the early Star Chart. Should I undo this while I'm waiting for Lemonspawn? It's probably not too late. No, it's fine. If you buy Exploration for, like the 4/3 is better because you can buy Exploration and then Star Chart. And then you get the Exploration coffers on the Star Chart turn as well. But on the flip side, if you have Lucky Coin in hand, you don't get that anyway because you'll have gained a silver in the buy phase, and the Exploration won't work. So it's probably not that important. I was thinking like one argument for Exploration early, Star Chart later is once you've got Exploration down, you get an extra coffer. Lemon's going to be upset about that for the exact reason I just mentioned. Oh, he still gets 1. Okay. He does it in the right order, but with the downside of he played a Lucky Coin on the first turn, so he didn't. Normally by Exploration, you get it immediately because it triggers at the end of the buy phase that you bought it in. But he played a Lucky Coin and gained a silver, so he didn't get it immediately, and he just got it on turn 2. Fair enough. Okay, so we got a 1/3 chance now of bottom decking an estate, which would be lovely. Then I could do like Tormentor plus Butcher. Do I want the Tormentor? Gains an imp. Maybe it gets me straight to expand and I can turn the estates into labs. That would be an argument for it. I'm gonna do it. We didn't get the good draw. Alright, he just goes for Butcher, fair enough. Is there a case for Mountain Village? Minstrel sifts more and then triggers Star Chart. Mountain Village just picks things up directly. Take the Minstrel first. Oh no! Okay, well this is a good reason not to shoot. This wasn't terribly likely, but unfortunately I have found the Minstrel early, and I probably gotta play it. It sifts way too many cards for me to not to. I mean, I get an attack in, but I don't get an imp. Greed is probably one of the better hexes I could have gotten, though, to be fair. I'll take the the butcher here. I don't know what I top deck at this point. Lemon did get the lucky draw. The bottom deck estate hit double fives. So he's probably slightly in the lead right now. I had a decent hex, so it's not like that much worse than hitting the imp. I didn't get the thing I really wanted. Gotta be butcher now. Don't know what I'm top decking. Probably minstrel. Just sifts the most cards. Guarantees I find the other stuff. Stables has a similar effect. Expand makes sense to me. Gonna have to burn a coffer next turn, looks like, but so be it. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting an imp this game, unfortunately. Alas. Oh my! He already found both of those again? Yikes. I'm probably behind, yeah. Order of these doesn't really matter. Wandering Minstrel and a second Stables, and probably Labs from here on out, I think. Curse, I mean, I am getting decent hexes. The Tormentor didn't work out, but it definitely could have gone worse. I probably hit 2 of the worst hexes. This is a sad draw. Can I support a second expand? Probably. That has 4 laboratories, or stables, effective laboratories. Make that 5. I don't like all-in on stables. I think he switched to labs at some point. I hope he does. There's a lot of stables you got there. Oh, he has no villages? Curious. I'll take the lab. You can have that last stables if you so desire. I'm of mixed minds about Mountain Village. It plays poorly with Wandering Minstrel, because you pitch junk cards, then it picks them back up. It does have some synergy with the gainers, because you can trash something, like you can put a Stables into your discard or a lab as needed and pick it up immediately to draw. I think Minstrel is just too good to take Mountain Village, though, probably. I think this is a lab on top. I don't see a treasure and I want to draw a treasure. I'm behind. I'm not lost. I'm behind. We'll see what we can do. I didn't even know. This Tormentor has been hitting pretty hard. Didn't get it for the hexes, but I mean, Diluted hurts too. You like buying action cards here. This is the stage of the game. Like this, it would hurt a lot more earlier. This is a point in the game where you're not sad to buy a province, especially with Butcher around. Greening on the earlier side is fine, so it probably doesn't hurt as much as I was about to make it out to be. If that hurt 2 turns sooner, I think that would hurt a lot. Yeah, he buys province. Fair enough. And with Butcher and Expand around, I don't think I can slack on that. I got a green as well. Unfortunately, I have far fewer draw cards, right? I have 2 stables and 1 lab. Lemon has like 1,000,000 stables in a lab. Yeah. I should put a draw card into this shuffle before I trigger it, I think. So I think that means butchering silver into, I guess, stables probably is better for that shuffle because it's got treasures in it. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? This is terrible. I think I just lost the game. I knew there was a bunch of junk down there, but I thought, oh, I'll just put a stables into the shuffle, and that'll get me far enough I can top deck anything. This is not enough. That's 5 junk cards. I'm deading next turn. And even one more draw, you can top deck a lab or a stables, and then you're probably kicking off. That's not good. Don't hit province either. Yeah, this is bad. This is very, very bad. I'm dead in the water. Probably lucky coin to expand. I don't need 3 expands, but I don't want the lucky coin. I don't want more silvers. And then butcher expand into province is going to be a nice play to make. And then I buy a wandering minstrel. Don't think it's going to matter very much. Yeah, this is over. I guess I should have counted that exactly. I don't think I realized just how many cards were down there. This is, by the way, one of the differences between the two clients. The TGG client does show you how many cards are in your discard. The Domain Die Game thing just shows the top card. Oh yeah. I was behind already, but I think this is sealing the deal. I mean, you never know. Lemon got really greedy on the stables. He could dud. I'm not even sure one dud saves me though. I'm about to be behind by like 4 provinces. Just takes another lab. Yeah, fair enough. I think I buy lab as well. Star chart, top deck. Any of lab, stables, minstrel have their appeal. Probably stables the best. Does it show you what your opponent top decks? I don't think it does it? No, it doesn't. I would guess for lemons you top deck lab. Again, the big risk when you have mostly stables, especially with minstrel, is finding treasure. If you have a handful of stables and minstrels, that's just a dud hand. I think 6 stables is kind of insane. Not that it's like that likely to fail. No, that does seem just totally insane to me. 6 stables in a kingdom with lab available. Stable is one of those cards that, like, the first copy is usually better than a lab, and then quickly gets a lot worse. Unfortunately, I'm the one dudding here. Although my dud was self-imposed. What else? So I was behind before that. Dud isn't the reason I'm behind. The dud is the reason I'm lost. Why was I behind? I still don't know about the Tormentor. Obviously, most of the lines involve gaining an imp. Many lines involve gaining 2. And I think that puts it about on par with Butcher. I got the hexes, which were worse, but they weren't that much worse. So I don't know if the Tormentor was a mistake or not. Might have been. He did have the nice turn 3, turn 4. Double 5s obviously beats what I could do with my shuffle. Any other key inflection points? Classic turn 5 Minstrel Tormentor. I guess the next shuffle wasn't so hot either. Turn 7 was the turn where I top-decked the Minstrel and just found none of the action cards. Finding Minstrel plus Stables would probably be enough to trigger a shuffle and then get to re-top-deck the Stables for turn 8. Anything else? How did Lemon's turns go? Turn 5, plays Butcher, gets a trash in. Stables, triggers a shuffle, hits 7. Yeah, I think before the dud, it was just like a lot of little things adding up, probably. Adding up to Lemons having just like a huge number of labs. That kind of matters here. What is he thinking about over there? I guess he's just dotting his I's and crossing his T's. I should be just 100% dead lost. Yeah. Yep, 24 points, 2 provinces left. I mean, he could have a total dud. He does have a deck full of Stables. Oh my goodness me. Does that hurt? Probably not. Discarding Stables is bad. Discarding Expand is good. Oh, apparently it's actually really bad. It triggered a shuffle. Yeah, that was a friendly Famine, because it means someone gets to stack the top of his deck. So, for example, if he's got a Minstrel in hand and no treasures, he can top deck a treasure, top deck a lab. I think this game be over. I'll take the coffers, I guess. I'm looking at Minstrel and a bunch of Stables, and I'm sincerely hoping he did not have a handful of Minstrel and Stables and get saved by Famine. That would be a tragic ending to this game if the Tormentor was the nail in the coffin. Okay, yeah. Bit painful. Down 2-1. Comeback time. More Knights. Goodness. Apparently they need to go back on the dislike list. I did win the one Knights game, but man, not a very pleasant card. Okay, so what do we got here? Got Draw with Denizen, Tactician. That's about it, I think. Got Village with Port, Captic can play, Ports and Improves and stuff. There's Thinning with River Shrine, Ducats plus buy, Tacticians plus buy. Got Fishing Village is also a village. We got Great Leader, makes everything a village. Doesn't seem very important here because you got excess of villages already, but River Shrine will trigger that. Inherited means we start with the Distant Lands, which is just like effectively thinning one estate for free, so kind of nice, but not super important. We both have 4 extra points. Is this double Tactician? This feels like a double Tactician deck. Draws otherwise. You can't play the Tactician and Denizen, really, which is the downside of the Tactician stuff. And Denizen is a good card. But I think you'd rather just play 2 Tacticians and then play with approximately an 8-card hand consistently, and that's probably good enough. Then you can score with Distant Lands. That deck only buys 2 things per turn, I suppose. because you can't play the ducats if you play the tactician. That's a second downside. But you could buy ports and then improve them, and that would be okay. I think double tactician still just sounds quicker to get up and running than Den of Sin. You can thin fast, and most of the good payload here is not treasures. Yeah, I got to open River Shrine. Silver suggests Lemon does not want double tactician, because Silver is going to be a very bad card very soon in that line. That confuses me. Maybe he's just going for Den of Sin. That's the draw. I don't think I believe. I think any of these three has their appeal. Ducat, not a card that will matter long term, but helps you hit 5 more consistently, and it's a card to be happy to have in the hand of the River Shrine. It's probably the biggest appeal. River Shrine less likely to miss, more likely to accomplish something on the River Shrine turn. Fishing Village and Improve are both cards I'd be happy to have eventually. I think I'm liking the Ducat the most, just for its effect on this next shuffle. Yeah, like look at this hand. I'm happy with this hand. What are you doing? Double silk? I'm confused. I don't know what Lemon's doing. What is my bottom 5? 1 estate, 4 coppers. That hits 5 if I want it to. I don't know what I'm doing here. What do I plan to buy turn 4? This could be a pair of ports plus an improve. Then I conserve a coffer. It could be just a pair of ports plus a 5 cost. Tactician still feels a bit early. Or does it? I'm going to be so thin. Like River Shrine thins you very fast. And then there's Tactician. If you don't even have a 10 card deck, the Tactician's actually not even doing that much that early. Dame Sylvia seems like an alright 5 to have early on, but not like the most imperative thing. I think I'm just going to keep the coffer around and do port plus improve, and that puts me in a position to gain a lot of 5s in the near future, and Lemon has very different ideas about this kingdom than I do, and I don't know what's going on over there. This is a little bit of a sad hand. It's not that sad. I have River Shrine plus 2 junk cards plus Ducat. That's fine. The sad thing is my improve is going to not do what the improve ought to do, but I have a decent chance of drawing off the top maybe. Didn't quite get to the Great Leader, which would have also solved this problem. Second improve, second pair of ports. I play 2 ports, I trigger a shuffle. Probably the safest thing is to just have another pair of ports in case I draw like the Ducat and then have River Shrine plus improve on top. Second improve also has a lot of value though. I'm going to say ports probably seems safer. I said Lemon does not have tack on the brain, is what I've gathered. This is going to be Den of Sin Silvers. Bottom card, I believe, is a copper. If I draw improve, I hit double 5s, which is nice. That'll probably be Dame Sylvia. Captain seems reasonable. River Shrine, it's okay. No, there's no reason to trash copper over state. In buys, second improve. I have 4 ports on my deck, right? I'm going to be sad if I don't find a second port for this second improve. 3 of those 5 cards are ports. 1 is a River Shrine. Actually, even finding the River Shrine is fine. River Shrine, no, it's not fine. I was going to say River Shrine's a fine target, but I can't play two improves. And yeah, I can. Man, I'm all back and forth. So if I find a River Shrine, I can improve the River Shrine, and I'm happy with that. I was going to say I don't have enough terminal space for that, but Great Leader is active, and so who cares? These 4 ports are all really just improved targets in disguise. Okay. I think it's getting to be Tactician time pretty soon. Maybe now even. Captain looks good, because it's just an improve that plays itself more consistently. Dame Sylvia looks good. Tactician looks good. I think one set of buys is Captain, Tactician, Dame Sylvia. The argument against that is, what if there's a good knight down there? I always like buying the knights early. I can do Captain, improve into Dame Sylvia, maybe delay the Tactician, but I can't gain the Captain last. It's the card that feels most optional, but it's the card I would have to gain first. So it could just be buy Dame Sylvia. If there's another knight, I'd take that as well. Otherwise, I just take the Tactician. I like the Captain a lot. We're going to do Captain first. In buys. Improve into Dame Sylvia. Destria looks good enough to take. It's a draw card, which is what Tactician is supposed to be doing anyway. Had a ducat? No? I just wanted to improve. Okay. Order doesn't matter too much thanks to Great Leader. You can just do this now. What is Tactician doing? Not Tactician, Captician. Maybe playing a knight, actually. I can do that. Yeah, why not? Okay, that's why not. Okay, I guess I'll take Sir Martin. Actually, does the order matter? If I didn't buy anything, I would have gained it off of River Shrine. I don't think that makes a difference, right? Because I had 4 money either way. Yeah, it makes no difference. We'll improve River Shrine into Tactician now. I think this Captain is just going to play a port. Or no, it's going to play River Shrine probably. Because I killed my River Shrine and I want to craft these last 2 cards. Yeah, I think that's right. Or is it? That's not true. I'm going to play a port. Obviously I have no use for the copper and the ducat anymore now that I'm going down the Tactician line, but my deck is already very thin, so I don't really need to kill the last few cards, at least not quite yet. I'll draw just fine once I get the Tactician down, and playing a port guarantees I find the Tactician, which is more important to me than getting the thinning in early. Port. Found the Tactician. That's unfortunate. Destri's definitely the better knight here than Molly. But what can you do? I think I'm ahead. What do I buy here? I've got all these improves. The most efficient way to get a bunch of knights might just be taking ports now and improving them all. Like, what about ports plus another improve? I'd really like the improves to be captains rather than actual improves, because captain's a much more space efficient version of improve. But improve sure is easy to get. What are my options? I got 2 improves. So these 2 ports, one becomes Tactician. I don't know what the other one becomes. I don't like the idea of taking Servander very much. Servander does not help me. I don't care about the gold. I can just do Tactician and Distant Lands already. I don't need Distant Lands yet, but it's whatever. Definitely Tactician. Yeah, I think Tactician and Distant Lands, just so I leave Servander on top and make Lemon deal with it. And what are the buys? Maybe just another Captain? If I just take another Captain now, what am I improving next turn? I'm probably improving the improves into ports, and that's fine. Yeah, I think I'm sold on just taking Captain here. One thing that'd be a mild annoyance for my deck, actually more than mild, is knight hitting Tactician is kind of annoying. There's some argument for just taking a 3rd Tactician and then pitching it with your Tactician in return so that you never get caught without a Tactician. I think I'm in a very commanding position. Dame Natalie looks pretty good. I'll happily take that one. Martin. Okay, that's kind of a mutually negligible loss. What do these captains do? Probably just more improves, although I don't have that many targets anymore. Yeah, I think it's just 2 more improved plays. And 2 more knights, probably. Dame Anna is kind of gross. Okay, yeah, fair enough. I should do some deep soul searching after this match. I don't know what it says about me that I'm apparently good at Knights Kingdoms. To all, we've evened it up. This looks explosive. Oh my. So we got Quarry, which is good with plus buy. We got some terminal draw cards that have plus buy on them. We got Lost Arts, which means you can play as many of those as you want. Whew. Trickster is cursing, and there is no thinning to be had that I can see anywhere ever. But I think that's just too slow. I think there's so much draw here that you do not care about curses at all. Samurai, ironically, actually might be the better attack here, despite being fairly weak in general. It's a $6 one-shot militia, which is, fairly inefficient. But if you're playing a bunch of counts rooms every turn, that's like a discard 5 every turn. That could be an argument for Samurai. Argument against Samurai would just be you draw a bunch of cards, they find the counts rooms, they probably draw anyway, and then maybe the discard attack doesn't matter very much. Although it's still kind of like negative money. Like if they're playing with Vault, overdraw can be converted into money, and then maybe even if they find the Tacticians in a dud, make them discard a bunch means they get less money out of their vaults. I don't know. I could see scenarios where Samurai actually matters, despite being a weak card in a strong kingdom, just because it plays nicely with council rooms. But I think the goal here is just Lost Arts, council room, play a bunch of council rooms. Artisan will be good. Can gain you bandit camps and stuff, and then you can do nice things with it. I think that's where this is going. Combination of bandit camp and vault for payload, artisan or council room for draw, quarries. I mean, you can buy all that stuff super duper cheap. Question is how to get that going as quickly as possible. I got the 2-5, which is far, far worse than the 5-2, but probably about on par with the 3-4. 4-3 is probably slightly better as well. I think on the 4-3 you open Quarry and Overlord. On the 2-5 it's probably just got to be Overlord. Yeah, I think 2-5 and 3-4 are just Overlord. Seems we are equivalent in that regard. I think 5-2 is the best split because you can do 5 and Overlord. 4-3 seems like a close second for a Quarry Overlord. What does Flourishing Trade do again? Cards cost 1 less. Oh! Oh my. That's big. If cards cost 1 less, Artisan costs 5. And if Artisan costs 5, Artisan gains Artisan. And that scales up very quickly. Very, very quickly. I think I want a Rustic Village. Because I want to be the first person to trigger Flourishing Trade. And then everything spirals out of control. That's big. Also, I'll be right back. Nature has called. I have returned, and I'm looking at my hand, and I think I should be pretty happy. I see 2 estates, but I see an Overlord, and finding Overlord turn 3 seems pretty important. What do I do with said Overlord? Probably it's Vault. I think it's Vault. Playing Vault here means I hit 5 exactly guaranteed. And with 2 estates in hand, it's probably at least as much as I would hit on any of these other lines. Council Room, max gets me to 5. Yeah, 5 after subtracting that. Obviously Vault. Vault always hits 6 in standard case because you just could pitch everything and you'd have 6 cards to discard, which would be 5 after debt. Council Room, best case scenario, hits 5 after debt. Gets me farther through the shuffle, but draws limit card, which I think is enough to say no to that. I mean, Council Room here wouldn't be ridiculous because you could buy Quarry plus a second Overlord. That'd be alright. I think it's probably just Vault and a 5. Any other considerations? I don't think Gatekeeper hits Lemonspawn hard enough, but maybe. Like, what happens if I play Gatekeeper now? My next hand probably has 4 coppers in it, most likely. I would hit 7, which is more than I need, but I could buy an Artisan, which would be pretty good. I don't know, Gatekeeper doesn't sound terrible. Vault triggers a nice shuffle. I have 6 cards left. I'd have 4 cards left, and then the Overlord be on top again. I think it's got to be Vault, right? I think it's got to be Vault. Yeah, I think you can make a good argument for Gatekeeper followed by Artisan, but I like the idea of triggering this shuffle so that I see the Overlord again early, plus whatever I buy here. What do I buy here? I don't know. Quarry, Bandit Camp. I think those are probably the only 2 things I'm thinking about. Like, my next hand most likely has... It's got 3 coppers, 1 estate. Let's say I draw a 4th copper. I'd probably buy Quarry next turn. So I'm going to say Bandit Camp now. No, I find my Overlord. Exciting. What do I do with my Overlord? Can't be Gatekeeper because I only have 3. If I had 4 in hand, Gatekeeper would look a lot better. That also rules out Trickster. Vault works out pretty alright as long as I don't find the Bandit Camp. It's a lot sadder in the 2/7 of cases where I do, because then I don't trigger a shuffle next turn. Council Room, more likely to draw the Bandit Camp, but a little bit sad. It triggers Lemon shuffles. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Let's think about that. Lemon played 4 coppers. Why does Lemon have 5 cards in hand? Because he pitched 2 cards with Vault. I forgot Vault even does that. This effect is just so rarely relevant. So Lemon must have had 3 coppers and 2 estates. Discard 2 estates probably. Or maybe it was 3 coppers and 1 estate. You never know. But has 4 coppers now. Assuming it's more than likely 2 estates. This hand is estate, Overlord, 3 coppers. Triggering the shuffle puts a new Overlord on top, but means this Overlord misses the shuffle. So that's probably fine, all things considered, most of the time. It's not a big deal. So Council Room could be like Quarry Overlord or Artisan Overlord if I get lucky. Vault gives me like a guaranteed Artisan buy, but has a 2/5 or 2/7 chance of not triggering a shuffle. Or maybe it could be just like straight into Lost Arts if I hit 6. I think once again like Vault. And I think Artisan sounds better than Lost Arts at the moment. I only have the 1 Overlord, and I have the 1 Village. And then Bandit Camp triggers a shuffle. Probably I draw just a random junk card, but then probably I line up Overlord puts Artisan next turn, play Overlord as Bandit Camp, play Artisan, gain a terminal, play that. I think this is likely to work out fairly well. Trickster, you absolute demon. Lemon and cursing. He had debt, I guess. Yeah, I guess if you have 3 money and no debt, there's no way in hell you play Trickster, because hitting 3 is sad. But I guess if you had debt to pay off anyway, it's fine. I didn't hit the lovely draw, but this is a Quarry, which I think is got to be the correct answer. I said Rustic Village is good, so I could buy that as well, but I think you got to get Quarry first. There's no way. I refuse to believe cursing is the answer. I mean, there's no thinning that is an argument for Trickster, but it just seems slow. If you had a Quarry in hand, like I think there are situational cases where you can consider playing a Trickster. Namely, if you're like top of a shuffle, have a Quarry, you want to play it a second time. But this is a general strategy. I'm not a believer. I'm not. This Overlord is playing a village. Is it Rustic Village? Is it Bandit Camp? It's probably Rustic Village. Just looking at this hand. Gotta be Rustic Village. I have 2 estates, right? What's the Artisan playing? And what are these bottom 3 cards? He cursed me before I triggered the shuffle. I saw Overlord, 4 coppers, 2 estates. Then I saw 3 more coppers. I'm confusing myself. So that hand was Bandit Camp, 3 estate, 3 coppers, 1 estate. So this deck has 3 coppers total. There's 2 coppers down there and a curse. Sounds like 2 coppers and a curse. Okay. I'm pretty sure I don't care enough about the spoils. Spoils are fine. There's stuff you can do with money here, but Rustic Village basically just draws a card. The only reason not to do Rustic Village would be if I plan on playing a Vault, which I don't think I do. I think Vault's too situational to want an actual copy of my deck. I think it's more of an Overlord as Vault thing. Probably this is more like... Well, I was about to say again a Gatekeeper, but Gatekeeper also strikes me as like a situational Overlord play, not a put it in your deck sort of play. Yeah, none of the stuff I'm super likely to gain off this Artisan is a card that like I really want in my deck long term. The cards I want bona fide copies of are like the terminal draw cards, and the cards I want to gain on Artisan at the moment are not the terminal draw cards, which is a bit of a conundrum. Gatekeeper and buy Overlord, Trickster by Overlord. Let me just consider the Vault line really fast. I don't like the idea of putting a Vault in my deck. I think Bandit Camp Artisan gain Council Room does not sound great. It triggers a shuffle when my Artisan and my Overlord are outside of it. That's not lovely. I think I'm committed to the Rusty Village thing. I want to advance the favors a little bit so I can do the little tricky thing in a minute anyway, especially when I'm on the Artisan at the moment. Alright, I got 3. That's something. It is not preposterous that I could just top deck a draw card, like put a Counselor in one top or something. But I think I'd rather just play something. I think maybe it's just Gatekeeper. Gatekeeper is a card that I'm actually going to be fine having in general the Artisan round, because Gatekeeper counters Artisan's gain to hand effect. We're going to Gatekeep Lemon and buy another Overlord. I hope you hit a big price point here. Sure, I'll pitch. He thought he was going to get Lost Arts, but this Lost Arts is going straight to the exile mat. I was thinking the clear Lost Arts target was Council Room, and that might still be the correct answer. But given the nature of these decks, Overlord might also be a good target. Just on the general principle of put the token on the card you have the most copies of. I do want Lost Arts soonish. Yeah, Lost Arts and Council Room is the safest thing to do, because it means if you have Council Room and no other villages, you can just always play the Council Room and be happy. Lost Arts on Nobles lets you do more flexible things. And by Nobles, I mean Overlord. Probably this is Bandit Camp here. That's not clear. I think Spoils is probably better than nothing. I'm looking at these favors. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just playing Rustic Village. Let's just do the Rusty Village. And I do get to cycle, so that's something. I vaulted myself. Council Room, probably. Gatekeeper again. At some point, Lemon has to try to gain cards, and Gatekeeper says no. My bottom 5 aren't very happy, are they? I think my bottom 5 are unhappy cards. There's a Quarry down there, so that's something. Let me contemplate this. It might be a good argument for buying an Overlord here. I'm going to be in debt anyway. It might be a good argument for just gaining a Council Room and playing it. If I want to trigger it. Yeah, I should probably gain a Council Room, right? I have pitched Curse Copper and Curse Copper. So I've seen 3 coppers. There's 4 coppers down there and a Quarry, I think. I should probably just play Council Room and draw that. Although I do love the idea of Gatekeeper here. Like, it makes it hard for Lemon to get an Artisan. And I think that's big. This is tough. Getting a Gatekeeper play actually sounds great, but drawing past a dud turn might just be greater. I really want to play Gatekeeper, but I think probably I should just play an Artisan. Play a Council Room. If I find the Quarry, that's just amazing. That's a huge enough upside as it is. I did not get the good luck, but this looks still pretty fine, right? Rustic Village plus Overlord, I think. Really want to maximize the chance I find happy things. Well, here's all my villages, so I sure better find a draw card. Which could mean Overlord or Artisan, given that I've got 2 villages. Village, Artisan, draw card is sufficient. Yeah, if I'd gate kept, he wouldn't have gotten the Artisan in time. Alas. Okay, this is fine. It's gotta be Council Room, right? Ah, he tricked me! He tricked me with this thingamajiggy. I forgot that was gonna happen, but I mean, Council Room's a card I want a copy of anyway. Okay. Gotta watch out for the Flourishing Trade. That's gonna hit at some point. I don't have an Artisan yet, so probably don't want to advance it right now. Discard from Exile. I'm gonna say no for the moment. Not till I have more deck control. And got a Gatekeeper down there. I don't think I care that much about playing it. Probably just Vault here, given all the junk in hand. I'd like to play the Gatekeeper, but not enough to do something drastic like Rustic Village. 6, gotta be Lost Arts now, I think. And another Overlord, probably. Overlords are expensive, but they're just so flexible. Also, Overlord gets really good once Flourishing Trade hits, because it can play Artisan or even Samurai, maybe, on a situational basis. I think I'm ahead. Yeah, Samurai is actually, I think, going to be pretty good here, because after flourishing your trades, you can gain them off of Artisan mid-turn and play them, and then uncouncil room all your council rooms. I should probably flourish the trades this turn, provided I find the Artisan. I guess it depends on the draws. I have to have enough flexibility to play an Overlord as a Rustic Village without it killing my turn. But if I could do the Artisan thing here, I probably do. Unclear. Lumen has Overlords too. I don't know if he's noticed the Flourishing Trade thing or has any plans to do it. But like if I do it with just like a little bit of terminal space and I gain an Artisan or 2, and then it's Lemon's turn, he does his Artisan thingy and gains an Artisan or 2, I haven't really gained much of an advantage from the being the first mover. I wish I could have gatekept the Artisan. Playing Gatekeeper at the time that he bought an Artisan did have so much appeal, but I think it still had to be Council Room. Especially, although I missed the draw, the chance of finding Quarry there would have been, I think, game-winning in its own right. So yeah, we both have one Artisan. I think I have more Overlords. I have a Quarry, I have a Rustic Village, I have a Bandit Camp, I have a Gatekeeper. We both have one Council Room. Or do I have 2 Council Rooms? I have 2 Council Rooms. Yeah, I think I've just got more of all the stuff. I'm also winning the Curse Split. I did neglect, I'm realizing after the fact, this is probably good Kingdom for double curse opening, but it didn't turn out to hurt me because Lemon helped me get the curses anyway. So, yeah, I think I had a lead. This is not a Kingdom where I think you can be too safe in your lead, because there's no real start of turn reliability aside from the opponent Council Rooming you, and there's a lot of junk, so you could always dud. But I think it can't explode very fast, and so I'm happy if I have all the stuff and get to do the big boom sooner. Trickster, I don't believe in the Trickster. I'm still not convinced. I mean, I did just lose the game to Lemon cursing me a bunch, but I remain skeptical. He did get a Quarry, that makes a lot of sense to me. And bought an Overlord, okay. Still don't want that yet until I can draw it reliably. Probably Overlord as Council Room is the first play here, just to see what I draw. Okay. think I'll just discard 2 to draw 1. Counts room. Okay, do I do the thing? Do I have enough to go off? Yes! Yes, I do. Not necessarily because I have a ton of surplus terminal space, but if I trigger it first and then I play a gatekeeper, Lemon can't go hog wild with his artisans on his turn because of the gatekeeper attack. So I get at least 2 turns doing artisanery before Lemon gets to join in on the fun. Or maybe it's just like artisan into samurai. I don't know exactly, but I think I want to trigger flourishing trade now. And samurai is definitely happening. With this many cards in hand, you're getting samurai'd. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. You deserve it for what you've done. Yeah, I still don't have enough reliability to... Like, I could gain all 8 artisans here. That's not a win, is it? No, I can't, because I don't have enough actions. Forget I said anything. That was a silly thing for me to say. I have enough cards in hand to gain all 8 artisans. I don't have actions to gain all 8 artisans. But I think what I want to do is I want to top deck an Overlord for next turn so I don't dud. And I think I want to play a Samurai. So that's... Artisan can gain 1 artisan, and then Artisan can gain a Samurai, and I can play both of those. And that's sufficient. I've already got a Gatekeeper down. That's fine. Artisan, top deck Overlord. Artisan, gain Samurai. Curse on top. Attack. Cards are cheap now. Cards are very cheap. I think this is Council Room Rustic Village. I'm not sure if it's another Overlord. Probably not. I do want to watch out on piles. Forgot I had that. I bought that Council Room not realizing there was one in exile, and I'm really happy I got it. Yeah, this is probably enough. This is a scary hand. Please save me, Lemon. I'm counting on you. I top decked 1 good card and 1 bad card, trying to avoid this. This is probably have to avoid a dud. Like I was forgetting that I have Lost Arts on Council Room already, so like this Overlord as Council Room is very likely to draw me another card. Is that all your Overlords? I feel like that's all your Overlords. And the only way Lemon can hit me with Samurai this turn is as Overlord, because Artisan gaining Samurai gets it exiled. I'm going to double check the Overlord split. Gains and Overlord, maybe he has 4. He might have 4. 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, 4-4. Okay, never mind, you got a 4th Overlord. He'll probably Samurai me, I would expect. The Overlord gets stuck in play, which is definitely a downside. But I think it's worth it if you can't gain a Samurai the artisanal way. Alright, he's thinking. Time to click on these things. I'm getting better at it. Oh, that one wasn't perfect. We're too deep to start over now. All right, 6 cards down, 4 to go. Alrighty, we got the whole kingdom lit up. Now I gotta try the events. Okay, so the light moves at the same speed around the cards and the events. That's not how that's supposed to work, right? The speed of light should be constant. So given the events are wider, they should eventually get out of sync, but they're not. Seems like a bug. I'll report that. Can I let it Flourishing Trade? I can! I don't even know why that's possible. There's no reason you don't need to click Flourishing Trade, but you can make Flourishing Trade light up. What about the cards in hand? Do they follow the same pattern? It appears so. was the copper was terrible. Can I undo that one and just that one? Try that again. Damn, I'm so close. I've got like almost all of them, and I can't manage to get the copper one for whatever reason. It's starting to lag. The lag is, I think, messing me up. Oh no! Lemon found the counter to my line. If I grant this undo, I think all of them go away. Oh no! I was so close. Well, shoot. Now we might be back in a competitive game. Anyways, what has happened? Lemon played a bunch of council rooms. Okay. I still only got the one not terrible card in my hand, which is scary. But given how much of my junk I see, this Overlord's gotta find another draw card, right? That's a lot of quarries. That's a whole lot of quarries. Oh my. Yeah, gotta watch out for piles. Lemon has just infinite free stuff. Taking the remaining council rooms, I gotta think about that. Because if you take all the council rooms, your overlords can't be council rooms anymore. So that's a dangerous play. I sure hope I don't dud here. That would be terrible. I think I got a big lead as long as I don't dud. If I dud, that like one turn here might be enough to swing the game to me being behind again. I got 3 council rooms in the deck. I got like 3 more overlords. Come on. Okay, this should be enough, right? Still not totally out of the woods, but we're getting to the end of the deck, I think. Yeah, okay, now we're fine. We're fine. I can unexile that spoils finally and be happy about it. I don't necessarily want to play this council room quite yet, right? There's only 4 cards down there. If I play the council rooms, then I play the Rusty Village and draw nothing. That might not be worth it. Let's think here. What are the bottom 2 cards? A second artisan. There's a second artisan down there. And I don't know what else. Play one of these and try to figure it out. Darn it, I drew the artisan. Play another one? Or the spoils, okay. First off, I guess I should consider, can I win? Maybe. That would probably look like a council room artisan overlord pile out. I'm behind on points though, and only have so many actions. Let me count that. The actions are also buys. I gotta remember that. Actions are buys. You may use action plays as buys. So playing Bandit Camp is like playing a market square. Okay. So I have to gain 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cards to win. That's piling Artisan, Council Room, Overlord, and a Province. That might be doable. Just involves counting, a skill I'm notoriously poor at. Let's say I play both Overlords as Bandit Camps. Then I have 6 actions. Play Council Room, still 6 actions. Then I play... Let's just count it with no artisans yet. If I gained 2 more Council Rooms, I'm down to 4 actions and I play them. I have 7 buys plus 4 actions is 11 buys, and I've already gained 2 Council Rooms. That feels like it's going to be a win, right? That feels like it's going to be a win. I gotta watch out for the money because I have to be able to afford a province. I think this is going to be a win. It might behoove me to gain a quarry in here because I think if I counted that right, I'm going to be over the number of buys I need by 1, but I need to be able to afford a province, which is 8, plus the first Overlord costs me 8. The council rooms are going to cost me like 2 each at the moment. Artisans cost me 3 each. I have a lot of money, but not infinite money. And that's a lot of cards to gain. It's not totally free. This is math. I should phone in Lemon. I don't know. Do mathematicians actually do like arithmetic? My impression is they just mostly work with like fancy things like loops and whatnot. I don't know how math works. Lemon might not actually do that much arithmetic in his daily life. Counting is hard. Overlord is bandit camp. Overlord is bandit camp. Play the council room. I have so many spoils in hand, right? There's 2 spoils down there. I'd have like 5 spoils. So that's 15 money, 19 money, 26, 27 money already. That's a lot of money. And then I would have 6 actions. I can artisan a bunch of artisans. Let's make sure the gains work. I feel like the money's going to work out, just now having looked at how many spoils I would have. So I have 4 actions. Overlord is bandit camp twice, brings me up to 6 actions. Council room means 6 buys. Plus 6 actions is 12 buys. Yeah, that's got to win. I don't want to count it exactly because I'm bad at that and it's going to take me forever. But this has to be a win. Okay. So I can do this for a bit. I should do the council rooms now because that's free. Actually, I got to do both council rooms first, right? For that to work out. Yeah. So let me see what happens if I gain a quarry here. 5, 6, 7, 8 buys. I would have 8 buys, right? 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. If I gain a second quarry, council room costs 0, artisan costs 1. That's 4 money, 8 money, 16, 20. I've got that. That's a win. This probably wins without the quarry as well, I think. But this was the easiest math to do because it involves zeros and ones. Whew. All right, 3-2. Going into game 6. Uh-oh, new table, looks like. Game 6. Theme of this kingdom is overpowered 2 costs. God dang, knight. Based on the track record, I should probably be happy knights are showing up at this point, but I can't muster the will within me to be happy to see knights in the kingdom. What's going on? Villages, there's Taskmaster, there's Lackeys. I think that's it for villages. Draw, we got Werewolf for terminal draw. Farrier overpay. Druid does not have wisps. Moon's Gift, River's Gift, Field's Gift. Field's Gift is okay for getting plus buy, but you don't need that here because of Farrier. Trashing? How do you trash cards? Sea Trade. Sea Trade feels like it synergizes with Farrier because Farrier is a cheap card you gain a bunch of, and then that will make your Sea Trade trash lots of cards very fast. This is a confusing kingdom, and I should think about it. Women bought a Lackeys, which could suggest a 2-5, which would scare me. But he might just have the 3-4. Or the 4-3, who knows. I think you probably want Taskmasters. Is that true? I don't know if that's true. I'm going to be happy to click a bunch of the 5s. The argument against Taskmaster is you got to buy 5 every turn. With Farrier around, you might just be wanting to put all your money into Farrier overpays. I think I want to get to the point where I can see trade at least all 3 estates fairly early. I don't know how to make that happen expediently. What happens if I overpay for Farrier here? I draw 2 more cards. 60% chance I hit 5 next turn. I don't know if is hitting 5 even my goal. I'm not totally sure. 40% chance I hit 4, but there's some chance that 4 involves a Farrier in hand. And then 4 with 2 buys isn't so bad because you could do like double lackeys or something. So like Farrier overpay sounds reasonable. I don't think Druid is the answer. I don't know. This is hard. Taskmaster looks really appealing as a thing I want my deck to do, but it seems like a very hard card to justify getting early because I think there's going to be turns where I want my buy to be overpay for Farrier a bunch and or buy C-Trade, and neither of those gains you a 5-cost card. Taskmaster plus Craftsman could be a way around that. Like you play Craftsman to keep the Taskmasters around, and then you can spend your buys on C-Trade and stuff. That's a thing to consider. I kind of like the idea of a Taskmaster Craftsman synergy. I don't think I'm opening with that, though. I think I really want to hit early C-Trade. Seems really important to me. So maybe it's just Farrier overpay, Farrier overpay, Farrier overpay, Farrier overpay, Farrier overpay. You get the idea. I eventually have a bunch of Farriers in hand. And then I trade by C, and the estates go away, and then I try to accomplish other things. That is the leading contender right now, I think. I think like Taskmaster Craftsman seems scary when I don't have debt control yet, because I'll be in debt from the Craftsman pretty often, and then if I don't line up the Craftsman on a future turn, I might not hit 5, and then I'm stuck in Sadville. I'm just going to overpay for Farrier, and we'll see where that takes us. Okay, this is definitely going to be a good hand. I either hit 5 or I hit 4 and 2 buys, both of which are fine. I guess I don't have to care about Knights very much early on if all the cards in my deck are going to cost 2 for a hot second. Is Fiatum any good? I mean, you could trash it with a C-Trade, but I don't think you want to buy Fiatum. Okay, we hit 4. This is probably just double lackeys then. We'll go back to Farriering soon enough. Yeah, I think that's still better than Druid. I hope to draw no actions. Pretty please. Or draw 2 actions. I wouldn't be too sad about Farrier plus lackeys, because then I can probably trash estates this turn. Ah! Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. This is just C-Trade, right? I C-Trade, I click trade. How do I argue against that? Boom, shakalaka. Oh, Lemon did the thing with you. How is Lemon's turn that much better? What happened? Lemon hit 6 turn 3. Okay, that explains a lot. Yeah. Okay, so I'm probably still behind, despite having a pretty good draw, I think, all things considered. You got the Craftsman now. Okay, how do I build up from here? I want the plus buy here. I think I would like to do something like Taskmaster Craftsman now. I don't quite have the... I don't want to burn 2 favors just to get plus buy. So what do I want to do here with this turn? Overpay for Farrier again? Maybe? Well, let me think about it. That's plus 3 cards. I have 7 stop cards in my deck. Triple Farrier overpay seems excessive, right? And that just draws my deck before I play any lackeys. I don't need that much draw. Do I buy Dame Sylvia? Did I just buy Taskmaster directly right now? I don't know. Is Fiatum ridiculous? If I buy Fiatum right now and then I buy C-Trade again next turn, I'm going to trash like 2 coppers and a Fiatum, and then... Well, I say I'm going to trash 2 coppers and a Fiatum. I might not find my lackeys. If I don't buy There, I'm not guaranteed to draw everything. Tricky situation. I burned 2 villagers. I hit 7. I have a buy. I really wish I'd found that farrier. I'd be a much, much happier camper if the farrier were in hand. 7 and 2 buys. Sounds really nice. Could buy 2 taskmasters. Or taskmaster craftsman maybe. Or maybe it's like taskmaster overpay. What happens if I bottom deck the farrier? That's a 1/3 chance as well. And that would be terrible. Burn to favor for nothing. 7 doesn't help me at all. Yeah, maybe that makes lackeys too risky, because even in the good case, it's a bad case. Man. I don't like the order of my cards at the moment. Farrier overpay now, just into lackeys, craftsman next. That doesn't sound great either. Nothing sounds good to me. These are the hardest decisions to make, I think. There's like, every line looks kind of mediocre, and then choosing between all of them. Dame Sylvie doesn't hit much. Theoretically the craftsman, but nothing else. Werewolf attack, maybe. Maybe it's just werewolf? I'll play this. I don't know what I'm doing here. Double Taskmaster? I think I want Taskmasters. It could also be just Taskmaster overpay Farrier, maybe? I think I like Taskmaster Craftsman. Taskmaster more. I don't know. No, Taskmaster overpay Farrier still sounds pretty good. Could buy a werewolf and go from there. I don't know. This kingdom is confusing me. It's a very tricky one to play. What is in Lemon's deck? Lemon has 7 coppers, 2 farriers, 1 lackeys, 1 craftsman. That sounds slightly better than what I've got, but not like decisively. He doesn't have any taskmasters yet? Oh, now he does. That would have been bad if the taskmaster bottom decked. I would have been a sad person. Gotta be a 5, so probably werewolf. And then taskmaster again, because I need the villages. And then I just gotta hope to find my taskmaster this turn. Werewolf again, yep. Taskmaster. Doing pretty similar things. It's not clear which of these I play. Werewolf draws more, and I do really want to find that taskmaster. I have 50% higher chance of doing that if I play the werewolf. But the downside case of just playing the lackeys is I still get an attack in, which could matter. I think that's enough to justify the lower odds, and it looks like it worked out fine. Yeah, I'm happy with this. Gotta buy a 5. I need to get a craftsman, but I don't have quite enough money for that. And I guess the 2 is just another lackeys. So maybe... Is it a second werewolf or a Sylvia? Probably a second werewolf. Lower risk of dudding. Still an attack if I manage to draw. Sylvia's attack's a little bit stronger. Copper, that matters. It's alright. Also, note to self, remember taskmasters. The problem with taskmaster is at some point, like you're buying $5 actions, and then at some point it's time to green, and you start thinking about various lines in greening, and some of them involve like province and a werewolf or something, and then at some point you convince yourself, no, I should just double province here, and then you forget that the reason you wanted to buy the werewolf in the first place was not just because you wanted the werewolf, it's because you needed the taskmasters in play, and you buy 2 provinces, and then your opponent's doing their thing, and you're like, haha, I'm going to win, I'm up 2 provinces, then it comes back to you, and you're like, where are all my taskmasters, and then you lose the game. Happens all the time. Okie dokie. Actually, I said I wanted Craftsman, but I might actually just want Taskmaster more here. Taskmaster Sylvia sounds pretty good. Getting ahead on the villages means your deck can do more things. Craftsman does let you do gain and play stuff. Like I could even just Taskmaster for, or Craftsman for a Taskmaster. That wouldn't be terrible. I would love to do like double Taskmaster Craftsman, but then the bad thing would happen. Taskmaster Sylvia, Craftsman Werewolf, Craftsman Sylvia. I think Taskmaster Sylvia sounds good. Like, Craftsman's like a terminal gold, but it lets you do a little bit of gain and play. Sylvia's like a terminal silver, with a little bit of an attack. I think Sylvia's kind of fulfilling the Taskmaster, the Craftsman function anyway in this deck. Ooh, Sir Destry looks pretty good. Diluted, please. Actually, even Diluted wouldn't hurt that badly because he has Craftsman. I could dud here. I mean, I dud. I still hit 5, so it's not the end of the world, but I don't see any of my draw cards. That might be a good time to buy C-Trade then? No, I can't. I need to hit 9 for C-Trade. Effectively, I need to hit a lot more than 9, I guess, because I have to keep coppers in hand to trash. I'm looking at 7. Probably don't hit 9 if I dud. My deck has, what, 3 lackeys and 2 werewolves? That's almost half the cards are draw cards. At least one of those cards is a farrier as well, so half the non-cantrips are draw cards, and the other half are step cards. 4 coppers and 1 Taskmaster. So I'm like 50-50 to find a draw card off of this farrier. I expect Lemon to buy Destry here. Probably on average better than Sylvia, and Sylvia's fine. I think I'm a little ahead on villages, but a little behind on payload. I've already got a 3rd Taskmaster. I got 2 villages or villagers. Lemon's got that Craftsman, which I envy, but can't seem to do anything about. I never find the time to get one. This seems close. Double Taskmaster is what I would expect here. He's got a werewolf. Hopefully I don't get hit too badly. Oh, he's going to C-Trade. Trash 4 coppers and a curse. Yeah, that seems good. A little bit at odds with the Destry. If he's getting super thin, the Destry draw actually starts to look less good. I don't know why he's thinking so hard about the trash. You just trash all the junk. You got a card that can gain and play. It's not hard to scale up, I don't think, from where your deck is. I don't think there's an armor for keeping coppers around. Oh, I guess he was contemplating the lackeys, maybe? That was a perfectly fine werewolf. Although, it caused me to dud. I missed out on a draw card. But, so be it. I've hit 8, which I don't think I should complain about. That seems fine. Probably Vander and Taskmaster. Like, I didn't draw here, but I have plenty of draw coming up, so I think I'm still fine on the draw front. Like, you'd think, oh, underdrawing, I had draw. But I'm underdrawing, I think, because my deck just didn't find the draw, not because I don't have the draw. Oh, Anna I wouldn't mind, but I don't think I'm going to get access to. And could be Craftsman now. I have villages. I didn't get my 3rd Taskmaster into play. I care a lot about these Taskmasters, but maybe I keep saying I want a Craftsman. I should add a Craftsman. Knight could hurt here. I got a werewolf down there. That's probably going to hit. I've also got a Taskmaster that could hit. Yeah. I will suffer a little bit of pain here, but I mean, I did just hit Lemon's werewolf, so Turnabout's fair play. Lemon probably doesn't need Anna that badly, but might gain it anyway, just because you don't want to fall behind on the knights, I don't think, here. My deck probably makes more use of Anna because I've still got more junk. I'd be happy if it remains there. Sir Michael is probably the scariest knight here. Also, that's just frequently true in general. Discard attack obviously hurts doubly because it shuts down farriers, which you might want to do here at various points. Yeah. Still iffy on that craftsman buy. I really want a craftsman in the abstract, but like I probably trash Taskmaster here just because it's cheaper and easier to regain. And I added 2 more terminals to this deck that I'm now going to need more villages for. Did you play your... Okay, never mind. Lemon's fine. I was about to say, oh god, he only hit 4. But, okay, I guess it was all beside the point, which $3 card I got because it was going to die anyway. Ooh. I was going to stop here and attack with Werewolf, but I haven't found a plus buy card. So we draw onward. Shalt I Vander them? Probably not, right? I think I value that villager too much for the attack. Be lovely if it clashes with another knight. Be okay if it hits something else. But going into the next turn with no villagers is a scary proposition. That's not even that true. The main reason you always want to have at least 1 villager is so you don't dud off of a hand with just terminal draw. But I've got a minimum 2 Taskmasters, so that's something. I still think I value that villager pretty highly though, right? Just because I'm over-terminaled and I don't have enough buys to buy the extra lackeys. I have 11 money, which is a lot. I've got to buy a 5, which I think is Anna here. What if this is Anna and a Farrier overpay? My bottom card is Farrier. I guess it can't really be... Anna C-Trade only trashes 2 coppers and a lackeys, which isn't great. Because I have to put in 4 more coppers into play. No, 5 more coppers to afford it. Yeah, I don't think I'm playing Vander. I think I want that villager. I think I have to buy 5, which I think has got to be Anna. And then I've got 6 money left. Probably that's just Farrier overpay for 4. That leaves more terminal space to do things with the knights and less on the draw cards. Yeah, I think it's just got to be Anna Farrier. Well, Anna might die, but that's fine. Or that's fine too. Everything's fine. We're all hunky-dory. Sir Martin is a gross knight. There's a bunch of weak knights down there. Martin's bad. Dame Joe is bad. Yep, speak of the devil. Diluted does not matter that much. I can buy a duchy, I guess. It may matter some. I don't want to buy a duchy, but whatever. Might as well play a werewolf, right? I think that's true. Like I could just play these 2, then I have 7, and then I buy duchy lackeys and get in 2 werewolves. Playing a werewolf lets me play Dame Anna, which I think is worth it probably because I want to trash. Yeah, I think I care enough about trashing here. I'm going to burn through a villager, but that's fine. Attack. Or maybe I'm not going to burn through a villager. Am I playing Dame or Sir Vander? Let's play Anna first and see if they have knights left. Here it's a bit less clear. Probably I play Vander for the attack because I can do duchy double lackeys and still have whatchamacallums, villagers. I would have loved it if Bailey collided with Vander, but Bailey for Sylvia is probably still a trade that favors me on average. I also kind of want more Taskmasters. Not playing Vander lets me somewhat more safely do Duchy Taskmaster because I've still got 1 villager left. Maybe there's just not time for that? Like what if piles just run really fast? The Taskmaster thing makes my deck much more sustainable. Lemon has 3 Taskmasters in play. I have 2 in play. The Trash has 1 in play. Lemon has 2 Knights Unseen, Martin and Destry still. I'm gonna play it. There's a decent chance it does something good. Yeah, I think that went all right for me. Given that I played Martin, I think it's Duchy double lackeys probably. Could also be Duchy Farrier overpay. The Farrier overpay is basically 1 free preemptive werewolf play, which is like, it's like 1 villager when you think about it. Because I got to play a werewolf for free. And so 4 villagers versus 1 villager. But the 4 villagers come with 2 lackeys. I think I'm fine with having 2 lackeys. Oh, never mind. I can't buy any of that anyway because I'm deluded. It was all beside the point. What a silly thing for me to deliberate about. Alright, so my options are very limited. Sea Trade is not helpful to me. I've got Day Mana anyway, and I don't have any coppers left. Astrolabe, Fiatum, Silver. Astrolabe, Fiatum, Silver. I think Fiatum might be worth it. I can kill it with Day Mana. They could kill it for me. I get a bunch of silvers. I can make use of silvers via Farrier. I'm going to buy a Fiatum. I've convinced myself. Alright, Lemon, do your worst. Whenever you get back. In the meantime, click, click. I'm getting better at this. Halfway there. Ew, I messed up the Druid one. Let's try that again. Oh no, he got back in time. We're not going to make it. Ooh, that was a nasty hit. I have knights. Hit my knights, please. Not a very big turn for Lemons. Am I in the lead now? Maybe. These are some sloppy clicks. These could be much more precise. Alright, the lag's starting to set in. Now they're not going to be aligned at all. I give up. I forfeit. Not the game. My mission to light up all the cards. I don't know how to cancel them. 1 by 1. Okay. Huh. I'm going to be so disappointed if I win this match by just winning all the Knights games. I showered right before this. I don't want to have to go take a shower and clean myself off right after the match. So hopefully then I lose this game, but win game 7. I think that would be better. Copper! It gives you more to Sea Trade in the future. Dame Natalie looks pretty good here. There's some valuable 3s. The scary thing about Dame Natalie is one of the cards underneath is Dame Militia, and the other one is Dame Necropolis. And you don't want to reveal the Militia if you don't have 10 to buy it up. I think you take Dame Natalie regardless. I mean, if your opponent gets Michael, that's bad, but Natalie looks pretty good here. Top deck something, fine, if you insist. Misery, that matters. Oi, this is a sad turn. No point playing this. There's some point playing this. Dame Anna is in that hand, and I would rather it be in my deck so it could be hit, but this is fine, I'll stop here. Gotta buy 5, and I guess lackeys. Yeah, 5 lackeys seems pretty clear. Pals aren't low enough to be worried about that quite yet. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Michael's coming. Can I trash 2 here? I can't trash any here. I have to hit 5. Oh no! Natalie for Josephine is painful. Can't you hit my fiat? Okay, I was worried for a second. I took it for granted I had to keep Dame Anna in hand, but I discard Anna here because I have to hit 5. I thought I was about to be ahead because Lemon had a lackluster turn, but now I think I'm not ahead because I've had 2 lackluster turns. Yeah, I'm probably behind now, just on account of the Michael versus Molly thing. I'm going to get hit with this fairly consistently. Okay, never mind. Good job, Molly. I'm sorry I talked bad about you. No, I'm not. You're still knight. But by knight standard, you're alright. Piles. Piles are low. I need fleet. How do I get fleet? I need to hit 10. 10 is hard. That's a big number. Yeah, I'm still... Lemon is drawing his deck more consistently. Yeah, this is scary. I think I'm behind. Okay. This is 8 money. I've got to buy a 5. So I guess it's... Werewolf Lackeys sounds scary because of the Werewolf and Taskmaster piles, but I do have a points lead if I do that. I think I want to trash the coppers. I could keep a copper and do Werewolf Taskmaster. Is probably way too greedy, right? I have the duchy, but I'm also miserable in more ways than one. Yeah, at this stage of the game, Lackeys has just got to be good, right? I mean, it could be duchy. That's probably a little bit overly greedy. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 knights in the trash. I have Anna left. Lemon has Destry still. Is that his very first knight and it's just survived the whole time? Destry's still a pretty good knight to have. I think for sure that 2 is Lackeys. I think I like Werewolf. Lemon has more Taskmasters, and I think if the game goes long, it might favor him. He's also got that Craftsman, which is scary. I need to hit 10. My deck can, in theory, hit 10. I've got silvers and a gold. I need to buy fleet. Fleet is important. But I also need to buy fleet while gaining a $5 card. The thing I've got going for me is I think Lemon has less payload. I might say that, but he's got a lot of Taskmasters, which make him money, and he's got a Craftsman. So maybe there's not so much of a difference there. I've got 2 silvers and a gold, which is a lot of money, but I got to draw it. I think I'm finally getting fairly thin. How many coppers have I actually trashed? There's 7 in the trash, but there's 17 coppers between us because 3 have been gained / bought. So it's 10 coppers unaccounted for. I don't know what the division is between my deck and Lemon's on the number of coppers remaining. I've also got all these lackeys. I only have so many villagers, and so I wouldn't mind trashing additional lackeys as needed. Why are there 21 hexes in the hex pile? That's not right. I'm supposed to do this the hard way. Plays a werewolf. That's too hard. A lot of werewolves have been played. Greed is gone. Plague is gone. Locust. Envy. War. Deluded. Famine. Misery. Bad omens. Poverty. Fear, greed. I must have missed one because I just counted 12, but I counted greed twice. So I think I skipped over one, but that answers the question anyway. So I believe there are 11 hexes left, and the only one that you can't get is greed. So it's hard to predict what's coming. At this stage of the game, I think misery is the one I want the most. Not for me, for Lemon. There's a lot of werewolves in the trash. What do the werewolves count? Gains a werewolf. 1-1, 2-2, 4-2 Lemon, 5-2 Lemon, 5-3. Trashes a werewolf. Lemon's trashed 2 of them. So it's 3-2 on werewolves, seems like. Yeah. I don't know. If I had to guess right now, I think Lemon is a little bit ahead. But these decks are erratic enough that I think I've still got a plenty decent chance of winning. I'd also... Ooh, feed him. Join the club. I'd love to get off a big Farrier overpay again, because then your threat... Like, he doesn't have Michael anymore, so that's an option once again. I think a big Farrier overpay also threatens to pile out. Probably Fleet. I'm not even sure if Fleet's higher priority. Probably depends on how low exactly the piles are. We'll see. It's just, I've only got 2 Taskmasters and Lemon has 4. I think that's the biggest deal. I wanted Taskmasters. In fact, I went for Taskmaster earlier. My third one got trashed, and then at this stage, it's kind of hard to justify taking them because it's a copper the turn you buy it, and only good after that. And if you take the Taskmasters, the game is ending like next turn. That's the scary part. So I want the game to end soon because the longer the game goes, I think the more the Taskmasters benefit Lemon, whereas I'm running on lackey fumes. But I don't know how exactly to make the game end. Duchy, okay. Ah, darn it! That hurts. That hurts a lot. Diluted, not as much. I can deal with diluted. Dudding is sad. I've got 8, but I'm diluted, so probably I just trash 2 coppers and buy a duchy, and that's it. I could trash no coppers and do farmland duchy. I might be very behind now. Just pretty big dud here. Also, my attack whiffs. Gotta buy duchy, because I gotta keep my Taskmasters in play. There's my draw cards. Lemon might just win this turn. I don't know how good his deck is at this point, but piles are low and he's got a points lead. Oh god. Oh, never mind, we're fine. I think, is that my gold and my silver on the bottom? I think that's a gold and silver on the bottom, and I was afraid because if he had a second knight, that's what was getting hit. I guess this is actually a fairly lucky reveal, right? I had 2 2-cost cards and 2 of my payload cards down there. Oh, is he into the game already? Maybe it was irrelevant. Maybe I just lose. Do you have it? Looks like not quite. Aye. Clever way to trash the Fiatum. Ouchie. Astrolabe, probably ever so slightly better than silver, I think. Not totally clear. The plus buy could matter. Ah, it avoids Envious. That's a reason. Probably I play this lackeys. Maybe this werewolf. What's in my deck still? There's no more victory cards down there. I'm looking at all my victory cards. There's an Astrolabe down there, and I don't know, just a bunch of lackeys, I think, and a Farrier. I think the only advantage of playing this werewolf would be finding the Astrolabe. The silver's only make me 1 money, unfortunately, this turn. I hate having the duchies because they can be hit by the knight. I need fleet. I think I'm just going to lose this game. So once again, my options are, I think, could trash 2 coppers, and then I have 3, 5 money, buy a duchy. Or I could trash no coppers, farmland, silver into duchy. The farmland starts to look a little bit more appealing. I mean, my deck doesn't have very much payload in it. These coppers are actually not the most important thing. Maybe I don't even play Dame Anna. I think probably playing Dame Anna is worth it. Lemon has like a duchy and a farmland I can hit. But I think maybe I just do farmland into duchy. Try to keep a points lead. Game is so close to ending. Okay, that's something. My deck just has nothing. There's nothing in it. Yeah, this is the problem. The 4 taskmasters. Lemon's deck always has just kind of the bare minimum of 4 actions, 4 buys is a lot. I emphasized I went for the taskmasters early, and it didn't pan out. Did not manage to get them into play. It's not over. These decks are still bad. Lemon's deck has a more consistent floor, but you never know. I can get Dame Anna hits a duchy, I lower lackeys or something. That's scary. Didn't want a duchy? Do you have the win? Ah, fleet. Werewolf versus lackeys is always a difficult choice. More draw versus getting an attack anyway. Do at least one of these. Okay. I think the attacks can matter. It's like I could end the game here, and then that would just be saying, Lemon, can you get 3 points? To which I'm pretty sure the answer is yes. Let's play this. I was really hoping to find Dame Anna. If I could hit a duchy, then I would totally just buy 3 lackeys and hope that he can't hit 6 points, which is not at all guaranteed, but that would be, I think, a good gamble at this stage. I'm 1 coin short of doing another farmland into duchy thingamajiggy. I hate the idea of playing Werewolf and playing Anna, because that's just all of my villages at that point. That might be the answer. Could also just be stop here and buy a duchy. Get in 2 attacks, have a points lead. That sounds okay. The best hex is already gone, but there's still hexes that matter. I think just stop here, double attack, buy duchy. My best shot. Try to pile lackeys next turn. Hope Lemon duds. What are my bottom 6? Let me figure that out. I have 11 points worth of stuff in my deck because I got 4 negative VP from Miserable. So there's another duchy and a farmland down there. There's an Anna down there. I think I have 1 more silver left. Trash is just silver. Yeah, I've lost 2 of my 3 silvers. So there's Anna. There's a silver. There's a duchy. There's a farmland. There's at least 1 farrier. I think exactly 1 farrier. Probably more lackeys. I had 5 lackeys. I've trashed 1. Yeah, so Lackey, silver, Anna, duchy, farmland, copper. Pretty sure it's a copper, right? Where is it? I stop here, I get a duchy, I have 2 villagers left, which is big in my deck, because I've only got the 2 taskmasters and I got the lackeys. I get in 1 more attack. If I play the werewolf, I hopefully draw a silver or a copper, and then I can do farmland for some more points. Or I could just end the game, and I don't know that Dame Anna's that likely to hit a... I think I just stop here, right? Those next 6 cards aren't great either, though, you know? Would I hit 6 next turn to end the game with lackeys? 2 money from Taskmaster, 1 money from Astrolabe. I think next turn I probably hit 6 and 3 buys. Astrolabe's 1 buy, Farrier's 1 buy, silver, copper. That might just be a dud hand down there, though. I didn't count any draw cards. This is stressful. This is so stressful. I can't end the game and score a reasonable amount of points. Like maybe with a good draw, I could do 3 lackeys and a state, which would counter duchy, but not much else. I think Lemon's deck probably takes at least a duchy on average. I mean, he's 4 money in play. There's no world where I'm hitting 5 and buying fleet. I mean, I could buy fleet and just say to hell with these 2 taskmasters, because I don't have 2 terminals down there anyway. But then I'm not ending the game. God dang. I think it's just duchy, probably. Final answer? That's not good. I mean, it's not nothing. This maybe causes him to dud, actually. We'll see. Or the lackeys. No, I said it was the lackeys. The bottom card is the mystery card that I wasn't sure about. And I think it's a copper. It was a farrier. I think I was miscounted at some point. I think I named all 6 cards and for some reason forgot one of them and thought there was a missing card. Because I'm pretty sure I said there was a lackeys, a farrier, and a silver duchy farmland. And for some reason I thought that was 5. That duchy trash could be the game. That is the game. Okay. We're going to game 7. Alright. Well, this is silver lining. This means I'm not a terrible person. I don't just win all the Knights games. I'm player 2. Ouch. Game 7 is random start. You don't alternate. Otherwise, I'd be player 1 here. I think it's probably for the better that it works that way. What is this? Catapult thinning, Bounty Hunter thinning. There's Wayfarer for draw, Collection for plus buy, Plaza's actions. There's Outpost extra turns. Collection is fawning, which is kind of ironic because with Collection you almost never buy provinces. Yeah, Bounty Hunter, Catapult just looks totally automatic. This kingdom, unfortunately, I think looks pretty straightforward. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? I think this is how my run ends, is getting player 2 in game 7. We both had Bounty Hunter, Catapult, but well, Lemon got to play both of his and I don't get to play both of mine. Only one of these cards can do the thing. This is it. I think this is just losing right here. Very painful. Probably I discard Catapult Copper, because Bounty Hunter Copper at least hits 4. Is that even? That doesn't sound true to me. That Catapult is just game losing. This is a fine. This is an actively good hand if I don't get catapulted, or if I'm player 1 and do the thing first, and then Lemon loses the game immediately. It's actually slightly less bad for Lemon if it were reversed, because he at least had an estate in hand. Whereas I'm looking at potentially hitting 2 next turn as well. That's unfortunate. To discard Catapult, Copper, Exile, Copper. I hit 4, probably buy a Plaza. Discard Bounty Hunter, Copper. I trash a Copper. I buy nothing, probably. I'm not sure if Seller is better than nothing. I could discard 2 Coppers, Catapult the Bounty Hunter, and then buy a Wayfarer, giving Lemon a curse. Then I lose the Bounty Hunter. If I were hitting 4 next turn, maybe, and then just buy it back. The one that sounds least bad this turn is probably Bounty Hunt Copper. The problem is Bounty Hunt Copper is only good once, and so I'm not loving the idea of doing it immediately. I guess I just do that, yeah. Yeah, this is over. This is already over. I got 3. What do I buy on 3? Probably a second Catapult, given what just happened. And they're all going to collide. Please don't all collide. And they're also, I think, liable to all collide in a hand that gets attacked again. Oh no. This is probably a second Plaza. This is it. This. Unfortunately, it's just some of these games you have no agency in. This game was lost before I ever got to play it. And this is like the worst time. Like game 7. Let's get this one out of the way earlier. I can't just resign. It's game 7, you know? But this is already just like dead lost. I've gotten in both of my Bounty Hunter exiles, Copper and Estate, and like that's the path to hitting 5 here, is your Bounty Hunter. Yep, they collide as well. I guess I take a... Actually, I don't know. Maybe I trash Copper and buy nothing? I was thinking I was going to do Catapult, Curse, Wayfarer. Probably I do. I think the draw card matters. I got so many Plazas. This is just every shuffle is about as bad as can be and lines up perfectly with Lemon's Catapult. Yeah, this doesn't hit anything of value, I don't think. Harbinger? Probably Harbinger. Please draw a Plaza. I have 2 terminals in my deck, and I have 3 villages. And I have found both terminals with none of the villages. This is the most stressful game. Lemon's over there nearly drawn deck already. I think I discard the Wayfarer. Because if I find the Plaza, I can top deck it anyway. This is preposterous. This game is preposterous. Nope. I have 3 villages in the deck. I have 3 villages and 2 terminal action cards. That is 300% the number of villages you need. Not only did I not find them, I also didn't... Like, my Harbinger's in the top hand. Like, if the Harbinger were here, I could play a Plaza, play a Harbinger, not in that order, reverse this around. Play a Harbinger, play Plaza, at least top deck the Wayfarer and draw it next turn. I can just top deck it now, I guess. That's fine. This is just so egregiously over. I guess Cellar. It probably just gets exiled to Bounty Hunter to get me to 5 for the first time. But I want to collect 3 maybe for Orchard. Collection's enough points that Orchard's not super significant here. This game's just already over. I mean, it's been over since turn 3. I think Lemon's basically thin. Probably about close to adding outposts. I don't think I'm anywhere near there. I don't think I want a silver yet. I've only got 1 draw card. Yeah, there's 7 cards down there. And 1 Harbinger and none of the villages left. Lemon's got 3 Wayfarers. I guess I take a second Cellar. I'm going to play this one probably. Actually, am I even going to play this one? I'm probably going to get catapulted. And then I don't have any cards to discard. Yeah. Like, once your deck is working, I think Lemon's going to be able to hit me with Catapult Silver every turn. And then I'm just never coming together in a reasonable time. Yep. How do I do this? All is kind of beside the point, I think. Top deck a Plaza just in case I draw Wayfarer off the top. Nope. Nope. It is turn 11 and I've not hit 5. I keep the curse. I gotta find Wayfarer, I think, to even hit 5 off of this hand. May not pre-move anything. See what Lemon's doing. He didn't get in a catapult at least, which is like triply significant, or doubly significant. I'm already discarded. But I don't get another curse, and he doesn't get a free Wayfarer. I say, looking at the deck that's got 3 of them. Hey, Bijou. Oh my. Even the points, 17 to 4. I don't even know why I'm playing this. It's just going to cause me suffering. Well, we got that draw. Guess I take a silver now. This isn't 5. I'm still not even hitting 5. Ah. Can I even afford? Like, I could sell her away a copper and a curse. And in theory, I have a Plaza plus a Harbinger down there. The Harbinger can maybe top deck my Wayfarer, and it could do something next. All of this is kind of pointless to even think about. This still isn't 5. 8 junk cards down there. I think it's got to be Wayfarer. Okay, well, I mean, this is looking good. Not good enough, but something. Don't get a silver yet. Is this exact draw? I can discard a copper anyway. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. Okay. Yeah, all these curses are going to hurt. Bottom card is a Plaza, which I guess I should leave there. I don't want to trigger a nasty shuffle. I think I'm just buying another Wayfarer here. I could exile the Seller to get to 5, which might be better. Let me think about that. I'm catapulting the silver. I could buy a third Wayfarer, but I don't have Outpost yet. If I exile the Seller, I get an Outpost in my deck. I don't know if I have the deck control to play an Outpost yet, but I'm also like so far behind that I might just have to try. I'm behind on Wayfarers, I'm behind on Plaza, I'm behind on points, I'm behind on collection. I'm even behind on the Harbinger split. I think I go for the Outpost line. Higher variance. Gotta hope for something. I mean, there's not really anything to hope for here. Lemon has exiled all the estates, and I presume has gotten rid of all the coppers as well. At least close to it. This is likely a good hand. If I get attacked, I at least have 2 junk to discard. It's a disaster if I don't find a Wayfarer, because that would mean I have a bunch of terminals and no villages in the next hand. But I think I'm fairly likely to find a Wayfarer, hopefully. Yeah. Promise, he's about to do 2 full turns of this. I'm still struggling to finish off thinning my junk. I think I've probably gotta keep catapulting silvers. If I get an outpost turn, I can catapult silver this turn, at least catapult a curse or something next turn. Yeah. So I've already lost any chance of winning this split. In fact, I'm probably about to lose the split here. And with curses at 4, points deficit of 17, I think Lemon can just aggressively lower piles, and there's no way I'm catching up. I don't have time to add multiple collections and then score 20 points before the game ends. Yeah. Plaza, Wayfarer. I think I need at least 1 silver, presumably. Probably a second one. Can I even afford to take a second one? Bottom card is Bounty Hunter. I've got 3 cards in my discard. Probably can't afford a second silver right now. Play Harbinger first so I don't have to trigger this shuffle. Silver. This doesn't even get to 5. Yeah, this is so incredibly over. I'm pretty sure I have to buy Wayfarer here. And then, I mean, just look at the piles. Like, there's no way I'm winning the game with 2 Wayfarers total. And I can't afford the 5s. Maybe Lemon just duds 3 times in a row. I think if Lemon had multiple duds, I get multiple full outpost turns, something could conceivably happen. This hand does not spark confidence. Alright, we've gotten somewhere. They need another silver. Okay, second silver, maybe. Bottom card is what? A copper, I believe. Yeah. So I've got 4 cards down there. Unfortunately, I'm underdrawing by 1, right? And I can't avoid triggering the shuffle just using Harbinger. Bode somewhat ill for next turn. The hypothetical next turn that likely never arrives. I would love to hit 8 here. Like, I need a collection, but I also need just an immediate influx of points. I would actually just buy a province here and exile with Bounty Hunter. I just gotta hope Lemon duds very badly. I'm probably trashing the copper, I think, because I would rather. I mean, Lemon's already got the discard attack in. I'm trashing a curse. Anyways, I thought probably Bounty Hunter is more important here. Get thin. I say this as I realize this line doesn't even hit 5 for Fawning Collection. Is there even time for a collection? Maybe this is just like Cellar for 4 points. Oh, this does hit 5. I just can't count. I was thinking I was catapulting the copper. That's right. In all likelihood, I don't get another turn. In the off chance I do, how do I win from here? Collection just doesn't seem like it has time to pay off, given where the piles are at. I think I just need the most immediate points I can. I've only got 1 Harbinger. I got 2 Cellars, which I could buy 1 right now, or I could try to buy 1 on the following turn. I mean, I kind of need the collection for plus buy anyway. Don't I? I think probably my goal is to hit 8 somehow. Maybe it's just Duchy, exile Duchy, buy a province on the non-outpost turn, and then have fought. All this is a little bit pointless to consider, I think. Can Rogue hit anything of value? Lemon has an excess of plazas. That doesn't cut into his orchard points. Rogue could hit an out. No, Rogue can't hit anything because there's silvers in the trash. Forget I said anything. I just take a Duchy here, I guess. And, well, there's it. On the off chance I get a turn, I have to draw a Plaza followed by Wayfarer to even have a turn. Doesn't look like I'm getting a turn. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, that's the win in hand, I think. Maybe it's... Yeah, it's de facto the win. You can give out a curse, buy Wayfarer Plaza, and then you can't miss 0 on the outpost turn. You can buy a curse then. Maybe there's a win this turn without even doing the outpost turn that I'm not seeing. Okay, yeah, he has multiple collections. That answers that question. Well, that's the match. Looking over these, I think the 2 games that I enjoyed were 2 games that I won. That was the I thought I don't know that the Tactician Kingdom was the most interesting kingdom. That kingdom was fine. I think Lemon just misread that one with the Den of Sin silver stuff. That just didn't seem right. And then there was the Artisan Council Room one. I thought that one was interesting, mostly because of the Rusty Village, flourishing trade stuff. I liked that one. First game I won was Golem Knights. That was gross. Then I lost the Young Witch Envoy game. I think the draw was just never... That was the bottom deck Envoy. Don't get cage played in time. I lost the Stables Tormentor Butcher one. Maybe Tormentor was a mistake. I wouldn't be surprised to think Tormentor was a mistake. And that one maybe. Lemon also hit the double 5s. I don't know. And what else? This game was just... I was player 2. In World War I'm player 1, I think Lemon experiences what I experienced with that turn 3 discard. And then I'd have a free win. Unfortunately, I lost the coin flip. And the last one was the Taskmaster Knights one. What can I say about that one? Lemon got 4 Taskmasters into play, which seemed to end up mattering toward the end game, although it ended up staying close. Is there a way I could have fixed that, maybe? I'm not sure. Yeah, the early game decisions on that one, I remember being difficult to make. Maybe there was some line that gets more Taskmasters into play early. I mean, you can't... But that was also one where you just can't make a beeline for the Taskmasters. You gotta get stuff set up first before you can reliably take 5s. I don't know. That one was actually fine. It was kind of a mess. But there were at least a lot of decisions to be made. But man, this Game 7 was a quite unfortunate way to end not just the match, but the tournament. I think probably the closest game I've had in a while to just being a literal coin flip with those turn 3s. But that happens sometimes. Oh well.